The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. And this sports show begins right now. Yeah. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Shout out to you for watching at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Today's a great day because today is Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. But not only Aaron Rodgers will be joining us in a couple hours, Levante David. Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted in 2012, linebacker, stud, now a world champion. How are they doing this year? What's it like behind closed doors? We'll talk to him about an hour and 12 minutes. AJ Hawk will join us. All the boys are here at Tone Diggs, the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboy, who gives out picks every single day at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. That's Dahn for Dahn alongside Gumpy. And, you know, last night just continued to add fuel to the fire that is this NFL season is chaotic. Yeah. What's going to happen? Nobody knows. The Rams, without Jalen Ramsey, without Higbee, without others, because old Uncle COVID showed up, or did he? Allegedly, Higbee might have been a false positive. How are we this far into this thing with false positives, taking people out of big time, prime time, NFC West playoff contention conversation games? But I guess that's what science is there. We're not there yet. Tyler, he's out. Others are out. Nobody thought that the Cardinals, who are one of the hottest teams in the history of football, the best record in all of the NFL. Kyler Murray handling everything with such grace and class and excited for the next game and ready to go. Seems to be motivated, more consistent than ever. Cliff Kingsbury, another year as an experienced NFL head coach. The defense flying around. They're at home on Monday night. And although their record maybe earlier in the year wasn't fantastic at home, this felt like an evening in which Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray would put their foots on the neck of the NFC West, but instead, Matthew Stafford, McVay, Kupp, and the boys came into the desert and demolished them. First play of the game, Aaron Donald drove the guard 7 yards into the backfield. Yeah. I've never seen a "how you doing? This is how tonight is going to go" happen anywhere near like that on the first play of the game. Last play of the game, he gets a sack as well as a couple others, including Von Miller, made Kyler Murray run around. But I think the tone was set very early that although a couple of their big-time players weren't going to be there, Matthew Stafford was going to show up and show out. Congratulations to the Rams. Yeah. Congratulations to Aaron Donald, who's an absolute freak show. What do you have? 3 sacks, a pass deflection, and some other stuff. Absolute monster, great football player. I don't have any doubt that the Arizona Cardinals will bounce back from this, almost like a perfect wake-up call in Week 14. A team coming out of a bye week. Maybe they were getting a little bit too comfortable. They forgot what it was to be the team in the NFL. So in the home game against a division rival who has beat them 9 out of the last 10 times?
McVay, I believe, is at least 9-1 against the Cardinals.
Out of the last 10 times. So now that happens, and, you know, I feel like the entire playoff picture is just one big question mark. And we just got a glimpse of it there as we cut to Ty Schmidt to break down the stat. The toxic table has all of a sudden become the kings of the castle. The toxic table are both sitting atop the mountaintop. And at Ty Schmidt, first in the NFC. Obviously, Cardinals lost last night makes that happen for the Green Bay Packers. We'll talk to Aaron Rodgers here in about 2 hours. After that first week against the Saints in the entire offseason, there's no way you thought you'd be sitting here with an incredibly artistic sign in front of you that says first in the NFC after 14 weeks.
I mean, yeah, that first week was tough. It was. We thought, you know, hey, these guys are pretty rusty. I think, you know, every Packers fan knew they were going to round into form eventually, but we talked about, I mean, the Bucs, are they going to go undefeated this year? So losing a game like that to open, not great, but I mean, we've talked about it all along. Like the Packers, if they get home field advantage, I mean, they're going to be very, very difficult to beat. Like, you look at it, and maybe, who knows, maybe a team like the Cardinals needs to go play on the road, but Lambeau, when it's cold, like, they'll be okay going and playing in a dome. They need home field advantage. got a pretty tough schedule here on out, but if they take care of business, like, still got everything in front of us. Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, home field advantage is locked in right now. So win, and you're still in Lambeau all the way until you're in LA, which is where somebody has another home as well. So it'd be home all the way through if that was to be the case. The interesting thing about the Cardinals, and you mentioned it, maybe they do have to be on the road. They're really good away.
Yeah.
Very good away. And they won in Chicago in very tough weather. And I'm not saying the Chicago Bears are winning any Super Bowls anytime soon. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is with the weather and the way their offense performed and a couple of the throws that Kyler was able to make in that type of weather has to make them feel, at least pretty good about the future in the NFC, which will sometimes... at least in recent history, I guess for the last 20 years, there's a chance Lambeau, Wisconsin is a place you're going to have to travel to.
Absolutely.
There's a place that you're going to have. There's a place that's in the middle of a blizzard you're going to have to go to, especially with the number one team in the NFC. And then for you, Connor, in the AFC, which is just as chaotic as the NFC, by the way. There's stats coming out now that this far into the season, there's more teams still in contention than there's ever been. This is via ESPN Stats and Info. Shout out Hembo and them.
Hey, shout out Hembo.
Hembo and them over there. It's probably a full team that I do not know, but the entire ESPN Stats and Info. The playoff picture is equally chaotic in both conferences. Each conference has three-way tie for the best record, first time through Week 14 since 1970. So the 17-game season hasn't even been touched yet because this is since 1970, 14 weeks in. This is the most that there's ever been. 13 teams in a playoff spot or within one game of one. 5 teams with the same record vying for a wild card spot, which, by the way, remember is now super wild card weekend with extra games. So this is a year where everybody is still in it. Yeah. Everybody's still in it.
Insane.
Even the fucking Dolphins, who were written off very, very early, they can still make a run at this thing. How about the Falcons, the Panthers, who fired their offensive coordinator just 2 weeks ago, got a brand new quarterback, Cam Newton's back. They could still make the playoffs in the NFC, but in the AFC, there's a team on top of that thing that ain't nobody going to be happy about.
No,
especially with how this whole team has come together and how this record has come to be. The first in the AFC seat is owned by the New England Patriots and their fan base that some people say are scumbags. Wow, this is absurd. Not me. I'm saying some people. There's a lot of people say this.
Fair.
You guys are back on top of the mountain. It might have to run through Lambeau, and it might have to run through goddamn Foxborough. I mean, this is insane. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Exactly. And nobody has a clue what's going to happen this NFL season. Records are being broke. There's more parity than ever. And here we have the 20-year dynasty with a new model, in a quarterback back on top. It's absurd.
Yeah, it is absurd. I mean, I want to say, I couldn't see this happening, but I did. I think we all could agree that we knew we would be here. Bill Belichick, maybe on the back half of his career, all of a sudden...
Maybe?
Well, yeah, maybe. Because all of a sudden, here's Mac Jones, who's going to be the quarterback for New England for the next 15 years. Bill Belichick might be the head coach for the next 15 years. And if he's not, don't worry. We got his bloodline, like Roman Reigns and the Usos, coming up the ranks. Here comes Steve Belichick sticking his tongue out with his beautiful mullet. I mean, things are great in New England. It really is. I feel bad for the NFL. I don't. At all, actually, because last year, even this year at 2-4, you guys are never going to be good again. You guys stink. You'll never see the playoffs with this bum Mac Jones. And here we are, 9-4, best in the league. Mac Jones is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think that's safe to say. Bill probably will win Coach of the Year.
What?
Should win Executive of the Year.
What?
And maybe, maybe we do see the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and then who knows what happens. Bill Belichick, pretty successful with him.
All right, look out for the Colts.
Yeah, sure, we got the Colts this week, but, their defense is giving Bill Belichick everything he needs to know for their game plan, so we're already looking past them. We're on to Buffalo next week, Pat.
Okay,
sorry.
So let's get to that, all right? And I'm happy you got a chance to do what you just did because we're all staring down a miserable Connor this season.
Oh, yeah.
When it was 2-4, and they spent $160 million 1 year after a 7-9 season.
Sure.
And it's the first time in his actual life. He's 26. So, I mean, I guess when he was 6, they stunk. But
right.
No, they won the Super Bowl that year. Actually, I was 7.
So when he was 5.
Yes, there you go.
When he was 5, they were terrible. In those days, Connor looks back on it and goes, how did I even survive?
Couldn't do it.
How did I even survive when I was 5 years old and that team stunk? For the rest of his life since then, they have been in contention, in conversation, and most of the time, dominant. So we were getting to witness a fan literally stumble, tumble, and fall from the top of a mountain as an adult into a microphone for the first time ever. And $160 fucking million day one of the tampering period.
Yeah.
Oh, we ain't doing that. Bill said, Don't you worry, Connor. Connor, don't you worry. We ain't fucking stinking for this.
Thank you, Coach.
I know you guys speak your microphones. I just got to live, and I can't watch film of this fucking shit that we had. That's how he was talking at the end of last year.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, this team stinks. Listen,
Not doing this again.
we went all in the last 4 years, 5 years. We won a bunch. This team, we get it. All right. We'll let you guys have your, it's almost like he was like, have your fun this year.
Yeah.
Okay, have your fun this year. And then I'm going to go talk to Kraft, who allegedly called me the biggest asshole of his life, who's brought him billions and billions of dollars in success to him. I'm going to go ask him for a big ass blank check, like I'm Macintosh.
Yep.
Sure.
Like,
Mr. McIntosh.
Like I am
Preston.
Preston. Like I am Preston for a blank check. I am going right to Kraft's office and I'm saying I need a blank check, and I am writing it to. We're going to get two tight ends. We're going to get help in the secondary. We're going to build up our defensive line. We're going to bring Kyle Van Noy back, but don't you worry, Kraft. Actually, keep that check for him because the Dolphins are going to pay for him to come play back here. It is absurd that you two are atop, but it's very good for our show that you two at least don't have to be absolutely miserable, because we were staring down those days with you, and I don't think any of us wanted that.
Oh, no. I am, when that happens, I become a person that, chews bark. I'm not a real human. I'm just someone who lives in this universe.
Okay,
but really, my mind's the metaverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the metaverse, by the way, coming together. I think they're working on the graphics for people to just walk around metaverse or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And when you say choose bark, you didn't mean like choose like you were to choose something.
No.
And,
like I'm gnawing on it
Yeah,
for
like
meals.
tree bark.
I'm that miserable.
Yeah.
Tree bark, yes.
yeah, chewing is gnawing, and bark is not barking. Like no,
I was not barking.
No, you're talking about chewing tree bark.
That's right. Like eating it for every single meal and being absolutely ruthless, because when you chew tree bark, I don't know if you have or not, but when you do, the poops are just absolutely terrible.
The bark poops.
Oh
they
my
say.
God, you have no idea. It's like eating milk bones for every single meal.
My dogs do that every once in a while.
Exactly.
They start waddling.
Uh-huh.
Oh, let's get around the NFL.
Wait, Pat, real quick. Those guys aren't the only ones in first place in the room. I also am in first place. First pick in the draft is.
We got the absolute worst and the two best in the NFL being represented in this room. Tell me what other show has that.
Not a
I don't
lot.
think you're going to find one.
Because there's none with a Lions fan.
Foxy, you see Foxy's sign was even like,
Mickey Mouse.
yeah.
Yeah. Like with pencil.
You should see the way he draws penises. You remember he draws?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had a full investigation on who left the drawing of the dick on my desk.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Turns out it was
Forgot all about
Foxy.
that.
That was good investigation by you guys, to be honest.
Yeah, you guys thought I wasn't going to. Hey, who's disrespecting me in my first ever fucking desk? You thought I wasn't going to be able to find that out?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And did you know we learned through that people draw dicks differently? Vastly
that's
different.
right.
Very different.
At different angles, depending upon which view, they want to draw it from. Foxy was the only one in the office that drew it from the angle in which he drew it from.
I had no idea.
The undercarriage, I believe he drew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he emphasized the nutsack?
He was looking up at it.
Yeah, it was it was like actually it was. We had all the different drawings because some people draw from the side, some people draw from the front, I guess, some people draw from the top, and then there was
People drawing head on?
yeah.
Foxy
Yeah, you will have
There
a
was,
3D rendering. Yep.
Wow.
This is a more talented artist. Whatever the case, Foxy very good at what he does. Terrible handwriting, terrible drawing. We found that out literally one of the first days in this office. So shout out to you, Foxy. The Lions stink, and this is us finding a way to talk about the Lions for another day. Shout out to the Lions.
That's what we do.
Let's bounce around the NFL a little bit. You talked about this with the New England Patriots Colts game coming up this weekend. I mean, you're talking massive game. Massive game. Have to go, have to be here for it, which is terrible because this is becoming a celebration now. It's a Saturday night football game. It's the first Saturday games in the NFL season, so it's always a celebration. Anytime you get, the men's league on both Saturday and Sunday, it's a beautiful day. That means, college football, hell of a run. Hey, college.
Thank you, college.
Thank you, college athletes. Thank you to all the kickers and punters down at the college level that were amazing. But now that NFL football is on Saturday and Sunday, and it's perfectly distributed.
Yes.
So you can just watch great game. Oh, you get 10, 20 minutes. You watch another great game.
Boom.
Then you go to sleep. Oh, my God, is work tomorrow? Nah. Actually, Another full
Full
fucking
slate.
day of awesome stuff. This is amazing. This is magical. And the Colts Patriots on Saturday night is going to be the topic of conversation for everybody. Obviously, Saints Bucks is Sunday Night Football. I just learned that from looking at this graphic that Dirty made. Shout out to Dirty, by the way. That's a big time NFC South game. Taysom Hill's going to try to ground and pound that thing. Keep Tom Brady off of the field. That might be a bit boring. Colts Patriots is going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
It's going to be in Indianapolis. Jim Irsay knows how big it is. They're putting on a lot of shit here. Before the game, there's a lot of stuff going down. During the game, I assume there's a lot of stuff going on. This is a primetime matchup that I think, it's week 15 NFL football.
December.
It's Colts Patriots again. This game matters. You look at this in the second week, third week of this game, and what it was going forward. The Colts were 2-4, 1-5. I forget what it was. You guys were the same exact thing. You project this week 15 matchup between the Patriots and Colts. At that time, I don't think anybody was thinking anything of this. Now, all of a sudden, hey, here's the two hottest teams in the AFC. Now, the Chiefs flipped the switch, obviously, last week. Will they be able to continue to do that? And they said that they didn't see the Raiders on the logo, by the way.
Okay.
They didn't see. And by the way, that is always the answer that Aaron gives whenever somebody does the belt. He's like, I did not see that, is what he always says. The Chiefs here said, we did not see that or whatever. I'm sure they heard about it. Whatever the case, it backfired for the Raiders. I love that they did it. Anytime somebody talks shit, I enjoyed immensely. But this time, Aaron, by the way, saw it. It was right in his face.
Well,
so I'll be excited to ask him about it. We have to. But let's get back to this. The Colts-Patriots game, though, is going to be massive.
Huge.
That is going to be an electrifying environment. Frank Reich, Chris Ballard know exactly what type of game this is in Jim Irsay's eyes, because we're watching it, man, in the arena. There's a lot of scars on the heart from the Patriots and the Colts matchup. And although Peyton's gone and Tom Brady's gone and there's new pieces, Jim Irsay, Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft have been here through this entire thing. And Chris Ballard, if you do recall, his first hire for a head coach when he got a head coaching job was Josh McDaniels. And Josh McDaniels turned the plane around and said, fuck off. They had breakfast set up, lunch set up, a press conference set up, a meeting with all of them. A Jim Irsay meeting with McDaniels already set up. He was the head coach, turns the plane around and says, fuck off. So Chris Ballard actually says, in that quote, he says, rivalry back on or something. He actually said. And everybody in New England was like, oh, shut the fuck up, Chris. Okay? Because this rivalry isn't really a rivalry as of late. The Patriots have won outright. I was a part of the last win the Colts had against the Patriots there. Melvin Bullitt makes a big-time play at home, 4th and 2, I believe is what it was. And then Payne goes, and then I was a part of a lot of the new regime's losses to the Patriots where there was some buzzsaws happening. My name is projected across the bottom of the worst play that happened in one of those games. But this one's going to be a dogfight. This Colts team, I think, is ready for the moment. And I think this Patriots team, although Mac Jones is a rookie, he doesn't act like that at all. I think they're ready for the moment. They all know that this is a playoff game. This is a big deal with a deep history in the franchises. And I think this is fucking amazing. Amazing that this is coming up this week.
Yeah, I mean, you're just talking about there just getting me juiced up. I mean, this is the playoff, game for both of these teams. If the Pats win, massive chance we can kind of close it out. Buffalo next week will be tough, but this one in particular, you beat the Colts, you almost end their season because you can kind of send them down to outside the wild card. They're not doing anything. Both teams off the bye too. I think overall this season, teams off the bye haven't been very good. So I think
they say he started slugging. I think that was Cardinals last night.
Yeah,
definitely the guard.
Yeah,
definitely the guard. He set go. Oh, I am skating backwards. Holy shit! And then Kyler. Oh my god, you're not supposed to be here, dude. And he falls
2 seconds into the game.
Aaron Donald just literally. This is gonna be all fucking night, and it was. Dude.
He's so good at football.
You have to triple team him.
Yeah.
Because every time they're on prime time, all the commentators talk about is, hey, this might be the best football player of all time. And then the stats don't necessarily show it, but they'll show highlights. They're like, look at this guy getting triple teamed right now, which is allowing others to do it. It's kind of boring for Aaron Donald, I think, because of how much he eats up, although it's helping everybody else. Last night, for whatever reason, it seemed like Cardinals was like, we got a guy.
Yeah.
Our guy.
We'll be okay.
Our guy. We got a guy that can hit. I don't think so. I don't think anybody's got a guy. I just think that's kind of nationally known. But let's get back to Colts Pats.
Yeah.
Colts got a team that can run, can travel, could go to Foxborough. This is very much a who's hot, who's not situation. And because they're both coming out of the bye week, it might be ugly early. Maybe look for first half under.
Oh, okay. Especially if they're both going to be running the ball a lot.
See ball, get ball. Not as hard to come out of the gates slow on the defensive side as it is on the offensive side because there's a lot of timing. Although the bye week isn't that long and maybe you can't lose it, especially if you're hot. Maybe you do stumble a little bit early in a timing rhythm standpoint. Maybe your offensive lineman forgets that actual football is about to happen.
Okay.
You never know what's going to take
possible.
place. That feels like a good bet going into Saturday night.
Well, especially with it feels as though both teams are going to try and make both quarterbacks win the game because obviously Bill's going to try and take away Jonathan Taylor. It seems like the Colts are going to try and make Mac throw it after he threw it 3 times 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, I can't wait. I'm going to be there. It's going to be
Let's
the first
talk
time
about
I
what
see
you
him.
let's just talk about what you just said. There's first time seeing Mac.
Oh, yeah, in person.
Are you going to wear those no bulls?
Are you kidding me? I haven't taken them. I sleep in the no bulls, Pat. I haven't taken these off since September 10th.
Yeah. It's amazing how much those have held up, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
They're unbelievable. They're no bull.
Hey, no bull. I was calling those knockoff Toms.
Yeah.
I was calling those like, hey, those are the slightly more athletic version of Tom's shoes because I had a hell of a Tom's run.
Oh.
Tom's shoes, they had some with fur on the inside of them there for a bit. I used to wear those everywhere, and they were giving back. I mean, it was a great thing. And then a lot of other companies, I think, just took their very plain, minimalist design and kind of made it their own.
Sure.
That's what I thought no bulls were when I first looked at them, but now I'm realizing no bull, these things are sturdy and durable.
They're no bull. And I mean, I have gained so much weight since the start of the football season, and these things are still going strong. They haven't even torn even a little bit.
That's no bull.
That's no bull.
You haven't Zioned them.
I haven't Zioned him, and when he says that, he's
What's
talking
that
about
about?
Duke. He's
Duke,
talking
when
Duke.
the
Yeah, he
Nike
ripped the
shoe
shoe.
blew out.
Yeah. Long
That was his
time
first
ago.
ever injury. That was on the same foot that's still hurt now. Maybe we should be talking about
Nike.
that as opposed to the body thing.
Let's be honest, he doesn't do them any favors with those dirty, white, trashy socks he wears with him either.
Well, that's because he hasn't taken them. If he hasn't taken his shoes off, he hasn't taken his
Can't
socks off.
take the socks off.
And you're right, the white trash socks do appear that they're actually helping him tell the story that he hasn't taken no bull shoes off. His socks are like, that's real. Look at these fucking things. They're kind of just like sloppy falling down there at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're disgusting. I mean, they're kill socks. You know, what do you want from me? Sorry, I don't have any socks. That's the first thing I'm going to buy with my money. When I get it, I'm going to buy 10,000 pairs of socks.
Now, you put $250K on the Steelers on Thursday.
I know. That's what I mean, the next one.
Okay,
I'm
let's
not
go back to what you're talking about with the next 250,000.
Yeah, because that one's already gone.
All right, so we'll get the next one because the first bonus went to sunglasses.
Yep.
We're looking at those now.
They're right here.
The second one went to the
He lost
Steelers.
it on Thursday night.
As fast as it was in, it was out.
Wait till you guys see the financial advisor I'm bringing in to speak to you guys.
I need them.
I'm on the horn with every single one that's on Instagram telling everybody how to use their money, even though they've never made a fucking dollar in their life. I'm on the horn with all of them to see which one's the right one to come talk to you guys. So you guys will be a little bit more adult-like with your funds that you have been, earned and given here as of late.
Sure. I mean, I will learn from this. I won't do this again. But you're saying Gary V's coming in here and he's going to tell us how to.
Gary
use
V
it.
has made $1 billion. I'm not
has.
talking about Gary
Yes.
V. He's been a five-time bestseller. So it's not.
right.
If we get Gary V in here, we would yesterday
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
to talk to you guys.
good point.
He's busy.
But there's a lot of financial gurus on the internet
I would imagine.
who have no money.
I would imagine lately you've probably heard from every one of them.
And by the way, I've looked into them. Like the people that I got time. I mean, I flew to LA. That's a 14-hour flight.
True.
I mean, that thing.
16 with headwinds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We had good
Yeah.
chop eating us, and it took forever. There was a lot of things being said, in the financial market, and there's like, financial bloggers and stuff like that, and all this. People talking about money. Well, they never made money. What are they even? Why are you even talking? I guess because you come from money. Is that something that it allows them to speak? There's a lot of people out there, fugazi, I think, telling people what they should do with their money.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to have a conversation with every single one of them and say, how do you feel about me buying a wrestling ring about 3 a.m. whenever I find out that I can do that? How much does it cost? Probably like $6,500 or something like that. It's a bad decision. You should put that $6,500. Oh, yeah? What happens if 6 years later they'll have a fucking match and a pay-per-view where I need to at least look above average and maybe that'll be a bigger part of the business? Would that be a good idea? Well, we can figure out how to rent one later. All right, well, fuck off.
Nah, I'm just going to buy one.
Yeah,
See that one coming, did you, smart guy?
Huh?
Didn't see that one coming, did you,
Yeah,
smart
did
guy?
you, pal? Huh? Did you see that coming? No. I did 3 a.m. What?
What?
A couple cocktails.
What?
I could buy a ring.
What?
Is that a big? That couldn't be a real one.
What?
That's a real one.
What?
All right, I'm gonna buy it.
What?
Then I'll never hear back from the company, never get a confirmation.
No.
And then 2-3 months later, an 18-wheeler will show up in the driveway and say, "Where do you want us to put this thing?" And I say, "What is it?" And they say, "It's a professional wrestling ring." I say, "Holy shit. Put it in the barn."
Yeah.
And they go ahead and park that thing in the barn. Then it takes us 10 hours to put it together.
I was going to say, I can't imagine. Those guys didn't help assemble it,
No.
did they? Yeah.
They got out of there as quick as possible. I mean,
Oh,
they-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks. Back that big thing out.
Have a good
See you
one.
later. So putting that thing together took forever. I mean, absolutely. It hurt so bad. People, it would be like a little party thing. People would come over for a cookout or whatever, and they'd be like, "Oh, let me see the ring." They get in there and they go, "Oh, I'm going to give people's elbow." Ah, boom. Oh, my God. Roll their dead carcasses out of the ring. Not as fun as it has looked, but it was a worthy investment. It was a worthy investment.
Not to mention OCW. I mean, come on.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Needed it.
Anyways,
Mama's dinner table match.
there's enough of that whole thing. I mean,
Come on.
are you kidding me?
All time.
Test to baby.
That might be the best thing we have ever done.
Yeah, by far.
100%.
By far. It's not even close.
We put more time and effort into Office Championship Wrestling than anything else. And after we shot every episode in one night, Ty and I's ears were blown out ringing from people screaming. Could not speak because we couldn't hear each other, so we were just screaming at each other. Had fans in the office. Man, I'd never been more proud of it.
We still have those other 3 episodes too.
Well, we're going to have to work
Yeah,
on
those are in development.
When we were sitting back here editing that thing,
Yes, that-
afterwards,
That's still the hardest I've ever laughed.
dying
Yeah.
laughing. We were so pumped. We're like, "Oh, we got something here." I think. Anyways, let's get back to it.
Has Vince seen that yet?
Well, I mean, maybe we sell it to him, you know?
You should sit down and show him an episode.
Hey, by the way, shout out to Ring of Honor. Hell of a run. Hell of a run. All right, let's talk about football. Going back to what Connor was alluding to there a couple different times, because he was trying to point out that Bobby Okereke, formerly known Okereke,
Right.
who, by the way, I was set up for failure.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I was set up for failure. I'd like to let everybody know that. And I don't know if the decision was made by Bobby and his family for the pronunciation of his last name into Okereke or Okerika. I don't remember the exact, and I don't know the phonetic spelling, so I apologize for that. But on draft night, when I announced this stud out of Stanford, they literally had it written out on there. Okereke. And that's why I echoed it at the end, was for the person backstage to try to walk me through it like 4 times as if I didn't have ears or a brain. I was like, I got it. So I actually did it on there. Now, I believe he has changed his name back to its original pronunciation with his Nigerian heritage. So I believe it's Okereke. I wish I would have been able. Bobby Okereke. Okay, perfect. Okereke.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, I wish I would have been given that on the draft night because anytime his name is pronounced Okereke or Okereke, I get 7,000 tweets, and I would like to let Bobby know I apologize for that. I do apologize. He has to see it. I'm a big fan of how he plays football. What Connor has been alluding to is in an interview, he basically came out and said, this is via Stephen Holder, formerly of Indy Star, now at The Athletic. No secret on the Colts' plan for the Patriots on Saturday night. Linebacker Bobby Okereke, we're really going to try to make the game one-dimensional and see what Mac Jones can do, okay? Ooh. So is that giving away strategy? Is that giving away plan? Or is the Stanford guy here playing next-level chess with Bill Belichick? Yeah. Is Bobby Okereke saying, hey, listen, Eberflus, defense coordinator, Frank Reich, how about this? What if I come out and say this is what we're going to do? They're going to think, because Bill has already alluded to watching Hard Knocks and listening to clips and having all that. And why wouldn't you, by the way, if you can gain an advantage? And that is what Bill Belichick has done his entire career, is gain an advantage however he can. What if Okereke is playing closed Sicilian here? What if Okereke says, we're going to see what Mac Jones is going to do. And then all of a sudden, that ain't what we're doing, actually. We're going to drop 8 into coverage. We're going to have 3 up front. Let's see how the run game goes. What if Bobby Okereke is playing next level chess against the chess master that is Bill Belichick? Or What if Okereke immediately got called in and said, hey, can't be fucking safe?
Yeah, probably not.
You know?
I mean, you're going to kill us, Bubby. But, I mean, either way, Belichick's going to tell Damian Harris they're going to think it's going to be that easy to stop you. They're not even thinking about it. They'll say, hey, we'll put 7 guys up there. Damian Harris won't give us any trouble. Get him going. And then, McDaniels will be in Mac Jones's ear the entire week. They don't think that you can throw the football. They're going to have 8 guys in the box to stop Harris, and they don't think you can beat him. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter what kind of chess Bubby's playing because he's going against the grandmaster, the greatest chess player of all time, Bill goddamn Belichick.
Well, I don't know if Queen's Gambit would.
Yeah, Beth Harmon.
Or
have
the
something
little
to say.
cowboy in the basement in New York.
Do they
yeah.
play for the Colts? I don't think they do. Beth Harmon ain't on the Colts.
Hey, no
sideline,
stone
Pat.
left unturned. Like
Yeah.
Jim Irsay. We'd probably bring in fucking Beth Harmon and that little basement cowboy guy.
Yeah, right.
All right, don't you even worry about that.
Bobby Fischer.
Is that his name?
No, but Bobby Fischer was a dynamite chess player.
Bobby Fischer was?
Yeah. Oh,
Is he like the two-handed wonder from Down Under of the chess game? Did he change that whole thing? Who do you think you are? I fucking am? Is that who
Yeah,
Bobby Fischer is?
pretty
Pete
much.
Weber?
Yeah.
He's the Pete Weber of chess?
Yes, essentially.
Wow.
Josh McDaniels can also tell Mac Jones, hey, everybody said that you don't even have to be on the field because you threw the ball 3 times and we still beat divisional opponent Buffalo Bills. There's a lot of things to fire up Mac Jones and to do all that. Obviously, I don't think Bobby's saying this is a big deal at all, but in the world of that's bulletin board material, that feels like something that could potentially be viewed in a bulletin board style, but I don't think this Colts defense gives a damn.
No, they're
I honestly
unbelievable.
don't think they care. They fly around. I think they work their dicks off too. Like
Yeah.
I think the Colts defense is a big time. Like, hey, let's film work. I think that culture that Eberflus has built in Darius Leonard and DeForest Buckner and Grover's wings in the sink, I guess, are top notch. Can't wait to have that. But that squad, I guess, is a very hard working squad. So they probably just say, Bob, you can't be saying stuff like that. But also, like, we got to play the Patriots, so we can't spend any time worrying about what the fuck you just said about Mac Jones.
Yeah, they got guys at every level, like Buckner on the D-line. Obviously, Darius Leonard's one of the best in the game, and then Kenny Moore, too. Like, at all phases of their defense, they have dudes. But for men in the arena, a Philadelphia throwaway newspaper just put a potential parade route in their paper, and Belichick used that. Like, I know bulletin board material is kind of like a fugazi sometimes, but
I love that Bill Belichick is like an old school,
yeah.
like bulletin board guy.
Yes.
And in that man in the arena, look at how easy they think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I would have never thought that Belichick would be that petty.
No.
Like, who cares? Because remember, the big thing is can't read the press clip.
Yeah, ignore the noise.
Keep the noise out. That's like old school football. Can't listen to anything. And Bill Belichick, years and years ago, while everybody was saying, don't read the press clippings, Bill's like, read this one.
Yeah.
Use anything to fire him up.
Read this one. Yeah, but there's so many different ways to, like, legacies. People's legacy is a way to motivate people. There is, comparing them to Patriots of the past that you could do that. To actually utilize, that's awesome. That's like out of a movie. And the fact that Bill Belichick does that, I love. I wish I could have gone through a season of Bill Belichick team meetings just because I feel like my football IQ would grow even more. Not that Chuck Pagano's team meetings weren't amazing. Mm-hmm. Chuck was a big time, and you hear Tomlin talk about it like nameless, faceless, whoever it is. I feel like Bill Belichick's not like that.
No.
He's like, no, actually, this motherfucker here actually had some things to say about this. And whenever he came into our combine meeting, he actually told me to fuck off. So we got an extra special thing for this guy. This guy over here. Yeah, like it feels like that's how Belichick is. And I think that's probably why all the players that ever played for him are like, hey, he's one of our guys because he's just as competitive as we are about everything.
Well, and hearing what Cassius Marsh said, he'll actually go through the entire guy's family history and be like, well, actually going back to his great-grandfather, they are Giants fans. They used to hate the Patriots, and basically go through the GM, the head coach, and the entire kind of building as a whole. That's why
I think Lombardi told us.
Yeah.
Lombardi told us that Bill Belichick, although those Wednesday team meetings are to go through like the points of emphasis, the keys to victory, what we're thinking about doing. And you heard Eckler talk about it and Herbert talk about it. It's the first time the Chargers have explained to everybody every different department's mission for the week. So then there's some accountability like, hey, we know why the defense is trying to take away this guy. So if they do that, we can do that. But him not only doing like the keys to victory on why the offense is going to do what they're going to do, defense and special teams, I think there's a lot of coaches that do that. But him saying the way this team is constructed, this general manager had this happen, right? This quarterback was his quarterback. He got hurt on a blind side. This general manager said, I am running everything through the offensive line. So this team is supposed to be constructed in a manner that the offensive line is supposed to do. Like that shit is just so much. Like that's so much information to be given. But I guess that's why you have to be a certain type of player to go up there, okay? So you can kind of digest it all each week. And then your test is the game. And then you go into the next week. It's like, okay, history lesson on this fucking general manager, this head coach, this play caller. Now, whenever we get into a situation, we have to dial back into that. Okay, what does this guy like to do in this situation? Boom. It feels like the amount of information that the Patriots organization gives out is just so much. Would take a special type of player to be up there. That would have been really cool to kind of experience and watch. And I feel like I'd be much better at this job if I would have done that. But here I am just watching man in the arena. Like, let me get a glimpse. Let me hear what this dude's saying in there.
Well, and that's what's so crazy about all the Mac Jones stuff is we like in the pre-draft process, they made him out to basically be that guy, and everyone was saying like, hey, you know, like it's gonna happen. Like we saw it happening in front of our eyes. Like, hey, he's gonna fall to the Patriots and Belichick, and it's just gonna be like a perfect marriage. And then of course it happens, and here we are, and they're on top of the AFC again.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
but the Colts, hey. This city's going to be buzzing.
That's right.
Don't you think?
I think there's a full concert going on.
Oh yeah. Well, is Irsay?
Oh,
he might.
Is Irsay?
He might be playing down the circle.
Hey, Nick put that video out into the universe for the Super Boost this past. I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
That video's 2-0.
Yeah.
You gotta save for special moments.
Hey, by the way, Super Boost, don't look now. It is on fire. Look for Thursday night, maybe. Maybe we continue that thing, but maybe Irsay is performing there.
I mean, you get that kind of extra juju going towards the team, but don't you think this is like Carson Wentz has like a real opportunity? Because obviously we know how much like Jonathan Taylor means and what he's going to have to do, but you look at the Bucs game where like that could have been like another like taking a step up the ladder for this Colts team because they are still young. Like this is a big game for Carson Wentz to kind of prove that like, hey, I should be the guy here. Like you beat this Patriots team who's this hot and kind of cement them going forward in the playoff race. Like this is a big game for him.
Hey, I don't want to be the one that asks the question, but I'm going to ask the question. And he came in here. All right, he's big.
Big son of a
massive. Big.
Yeah, huge.
I mean, and he's a lumbering guy when he walks in
yeah.
here. Okay, he's big son of a... Did not get introduced last at the game we went to against the Jets when the offense got introduced. Did not get introduced last. Jonathan Taylor did. He is not the conversation whenever you talk about the Colts offense. Jonathan Taylor is. I bet you Carson likes that, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
Takes a lot of pressure away.
Like I think he doesn't have to deal with all the attention and drama that surrounded him in Philadelphia. Yeah. Now there's really nothing aside from like Hard Knocks, I guess, filming every single day and maybe catching everything he says at every single moment because there might be a moment where he's a little bit upset about something. And, you know, we kind of went after the Colts for deciding to throw the ball with Carson, even though he did have a hot hand and was throwing the ball well. We're like, run the damn ball. So I assume there's moments in Carson's mind where he's like, I could do this, though. And he probably has some sort of ego that has gotten him to this point that you have to have, even though he's a very nice guy. So I bet there are moments where Carson's not exactly thrilled that the running back is the guy. But I bet ultimately in the end, Carson is very pumped to be an Indianapolis Colt with the way this is
Yeah,
running
I think
now.
he loves it. I mean, his number is number 2. He comes out second to last. He picked maybe not even the second best company in Bobcat. I mean, Deere's number 1.
Hey, John Deere.
Yeah.
Hey, John Deere, friend of the program.
Yeah, we always knew you were a Deere guy. I mean, you could never really.
Who, me?
Yeah, because of Carson, you know, he's Bobcat guy, so you really couldn't. But us John Deere guys knew you were a John Deere guy.
So you're saying Bobcat's powerade?
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah,
it might be all sport.
It might be all
Whoa. The Bobcat's all sport?
Yeah, Caterpillar might be Powerade.
No way.
Caterpillar
Carson's
should.
rolling around on that Bobcat. You're telling me Carson Wentz, big. We just said it.
Yeah.
Big. And that thing's got rabbit. That thing is, whenever he's doing a zero turn, he's going out there. He's
You might
really,
even keep it in turtle.
bro, he's tilling the field, dude, out there with the Bobcat. You're telling me that thing's all sport, bro? Bobcat?
It might be. I mean, I don't want to say it, but I tell you what, once you get on that fucking Deere, it's like, wow, this is a Blue Glacier Powerade. You can tell it. I mean, the way that thing hums. You know. You've always known.
Even though.
Well, John Deere did follow me on Twitter. I don't know if it's John or the Deere family. but somebody in the department did follow us.
I think John died.
Either way.
Let's get to a break. John's dead?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, he can't be.
No.
Yeah, he's born in like the 1800s.
Oh, no. Let's turn that music down. Are you kidding me, dude? You did not die in vain, sir.
No.
Let's have a moment of silence for fucking John Deere, dude. What year did he pass?
1886.
Yeah, he's an old son of a bitch.
Yeah, but
He was.
Born 1804.
Yeah,
That
was.
son of a
Hey,
bitch.
hell of a run. 84.
Yeah.
Hell of a run, John Deere.
Good job, John.
legends never die.
Hey, we appreciate your
Bingo.
brain. The Steve Jobs of farming.
That's right.
No, he did the work himself.
All right.
Oh, so him and Wozniak combined.
All right. So he is
The ultimate.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a break. Shout out to John Deere, dude.
Shout out. Nothing runs like a deer.
Miss you.
Run like a deer, ain't her eyes light up.
There he is.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. Yeah. You think that guy ever thought that his piece of incredible machinery was going to be described as sexy?
No, his bones are probably turning into dust right now because of that. You know, he wouldn't like that. But what are you
You
gonna
don't
do?
think he would think that people think that his machinery is so beautifully crafted that people are singing songs about its sexiness? You don't think Mr. John Deere right there would have appreciated that?
No, he's all
Deere
about
green.
grit. You know,
Yeah,
grit and determination.
He's a big takes the
Tractor, another round, another round, another round.
That's his style.
Bingo. Yeah.
Hey, let's not talk about how it looks. All right, let's go out and do the fucking work. Let's
How's
take
the
a couple
function?
trips.
How's the function of it?
Yeah, it makes his corn pop up in rows.
Bingo.
Yeah, but come on.
Well, and the thing about it is, rain makes corn.
Corn makes whiskey.
Whiskey makes my baby.
Frisky.
I wonder if John Deere is mentioned in there at all, because that's a little friskiness, and John Deere is part of the corn making process after the rain comes down.
Yeah.
He should be.
Anyway, shout out to John Deere, dude. Thanks for everything you did for music and for farms and lawns everywhere. And thanks for the follow. It's awesome. We're back in 4 minutes. Cheers. The Jacksonville Duval Jaguars are dead. And I think that is something that is a shame. But we should at least have a moment of silence, I guess, for the Urban Meyer-led Jacksonville Jaguar squad. He chose one time not to fly back home with the team after a loss. Said, I gotta see the grand babies. That's right. The only babies he saw were those young ladies at the shop house that week.
Devil.
He had to answer a lot of questions about that, but then he got back on track and started coaching football.
Oh, yeah.
Forget about the fingers.
And they won. They won a game in London. How'd they win? It's because they forgot about the finger.
That's right.
And then they came back to America. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And anonymous sources say, this guy fucking stinks. He's laughed out of meeting rooms. Everybody wants to smack him in the mouth.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Have a little mirror therapy, pal.
A little bit.
You stink.
You guys ever get yourself one of these? I didn't think so, you losers.
Hey, this one from high school, this one from college, and this one right here, middle fingers open for the NFL. If any of you would stop fucking me over,
Goddamn right.
that's what we're trying to get. Hey, you, defensive coordinator,
What's that?
you got any of these?
No, I don't. I don't.
That's why I thought you're a fucking loser.
I'm sorry.
You need to stop by the job. Anyways, they're dead. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee.
Unreal.
Foxy's added some new tools to the arsenal.
A couple transitions.
Some new shots to the bag. Wow. I assume we've had access to these for a long time.
I've known about them forever.
Yeah. Why not today?
I guess. I mean, you just found out about them, so let's go.
Can we hit one more of those
Yeah, here
things?
we go. We'll go to the boys.
Yeah.
Shit, to you!
Bring it!
Hey! How about this one? Whoa!
What?
Bring it back. I'm blue. I would green, I would die. I would green, I would die. That's great, Foxy. Hey, way to really up the game.
Foxy.
Hey, boy, Foxy. Welcome back to the show.
Those are awesome.
Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Hey, one more. Hit one more. Do we hit
Come on.
How about this?
New one.
How about this? That one doesn't do anything.
Foxy.
Is there a dissolve one?
See, this is where pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. We got too greedy.
That's right.
We had a good run on 3 or 4 transitions. We tried to reach into 5 or 6, and we just didn't have them in the bag.
Bucket ran dry.
Keep working over there. Yeah, the well ran dry. That is a 100% case. Yeah.
Some more water.
Yeah, we need to call them in. Maybe next week we'll find some new ones in there. But we appreciate you for joining us. It is this show, by the way, that we'll be talking about. The show that you just watched right there. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here. Aaron Rodgers, Tuesday, December 14th. Woo. Can't thank you enough for spending your afternoon with us, wherever you may be. Where do you think people are? Home?
Yeah, some at home. Some at work.
Office?
Some at the office.
Are offices happening yet?
yeah.
I was
think
on
so.
they're back.
I was on a thing today. It's not mandated yet. I
A
don't
lot of hybrids.
Yes.
Some in,
Hybrids
some
are
A
out.
few days a week.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you wherever the hell you are. And a lot of people watch us later in the day. We thank you for that as well.
Some people in tractors, maybe.
Oh, and
Oh,
the
yeah,
John
Definitely.
Deere's.
I've
See
seen
plenty
it.
of those.
I've seen a bunch
Plenty of
pictures
them.
that.
We actually just got a tweet from somebody saying that they are John Deere's son, and they thank us for the acknowledge. So,
Welcome.
Welcome, Junior.
1,000 years old.
JDJ, dude.
Yeah.
JDJ.
DJ.
1880, when did he? 6?
Yeah,
he
maybe
passed away?
the 4th. Maybe his great grandfather.
Is that his father?
It would be his lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah, same blood.
My father's father.
That's right.
Let's go to the phones. 1-833-4 McAfee on the 5 Energy phone line on this beautiful Tuesday. Rams beat the Cards, shake up the playoff picture even more.
Yeah.
What will Aaron Rodgers have to say about that in about an hour? How about 45 minutes from now? Levante David of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The NFC is top heavy.
Oh, yeah. It is. I think Raj will be pretty happy with where the Packers are at right now.
Where's that at?
At the top of the NFC.
Oh,
yeah.
Congratulations. Welcome to the top of the league.
Hey, congrats.
Don't worry, it'll just be sweeter when they both lose in the playoffs.
well, Town, listen, we've all been wishing for that for the one on the left for about 20 some years now. You know what I mean? And I'm watching Man in the Arena. I mean, they lose, but I guess it's in the Super Bowl. They're acting like that Super Bowl. We lost the Super Bowl again, man. It's
Oh, yeah.
like it's absolutely. By the way, the Super Bowl locker room after we lost my rookie year was the most depressed place I've ever walked into in my entire life. Everybody was devastated. And I was a rookie. I didn't even know how to punt yet. I had pretty good relationships all around. Don't worry, we'll do this again.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll be here next year. It's not the way, I guess. Unless you're the Patriots, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, even if we do lose in the playoffs, shit. There was a chance last year that I was never going to see a good Patriots football team for the rest of my life.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah, exactly. So now even just being here it's all, extra at this point.
Mac Jones, by the way, if he loses, think about the Man in the Arena like 15 years from now, like Mac. Yeah, nobody really gave me a chance. I fell down the draft all the way to 15. I was drafted 222, but all the way to 15.
Yeah.
All the way down there. Tom Brady's pick 199, but it was real. He was supposed to be number 3 overall. It was like very obvious the entire time. This guy's going to go number 3 overall, and then he starts falling. And oh my God, the chips just start, stacking up on his shoulder. And then he ends up with Bill Belichick because Matt Patricia said, yeah, you can do that, Bill.
Yeah.
And he drafts him, and then, this is going to be fucking absurd if you guys end up being good for the next 15 years. It's going to be so ridiculous, so disgusting, so obnoxious, and everybody's going to say, how did they let Bill do that? And those are going to be the same words that retired coaches are going to be saying, too, during this era. They're like, how did we let Bill do that? How did that happen?
Especially when you look at some of the teams that could have taken quarterback, like the Panthers or the Broncos. Like, there are so many teams.
Yeah, but Surtain's a dog.
Surtain's, no. And J.C. Horn's really good, too. It's just like what they're missing, it seems, is that guy.
Let's go to the phones here on the 5 Energy phone line. Let's go to Mike in Wisconsin. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, boys? How you doing?
Keep it moving, attaboy, Mike.
Hey. Thank you for being you guys. You guys rock. Just want to touch base, talk about the Packers a little bit. Can't wait to hear about Aaron here soon. See what's going on. His thought process for the weeks to come. You know, we got home field advantage, so it's going to be huge, baby, coming in to the home stretch of the season. Pretty excited. We'll see what happens.
All right, attaboy, Mike. Proud of you, buddy. Happy for you, man. Can't wait to see what happens. Mike just wanted to say, hey, boots on the ground here in Wisconsin.
That's right.
My phone isn't as loud at the beginning of this whole thing as it's going to be at the end. I'm going to turn this thing up a little bit. You're going to hear it. Mm-hmm. But Wisconsin, Mike's excited.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
As he should be, by the way, because I think that, the Packers look really good.
They do.
Really comfortable. Mm-hmm. Last year, they were doing a lot of celebrating. Remember, it was like, oh, this team likes each other. This team's going to do it. Feels like it's the same exact type of situation, and they're more talented, and they're still getting more people back healthy. Whew. Can't wait to talk to Aaron. Got to be a good conversation about how, goddamn good things are in Green Bay right now, where it felt as if the whole world was collapsing this offseason as Aaron was jumping into waterfalls.
Yeah, I mean, you look at – I didn't think he could play better than he did last – I mean – wins an MVP, obviously, and his stats might not be quite as good as they were last year, but I think this Packers team is better. Just another year in that offense. Like, when they actually get going, and we talked about this earlier in the year, like, they used to not really have these, 9-minute drives where they just grind teams down. Like, they're starting to do that now. Like, they're just so balanced. And then you hope, Billy Turner got injured on Sunday night against the Bears, so hopefully he's not out for the season, but you get Bakhtiari back, you get Jair back, you get Zadarius Smith back. Like, they're in a very good spot to actually go and win a Super Bowl.
Hey, they're matriculating down the field.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Let's matriculate the ball down the field. Let's go to Andrew, John Deere Tractor. Andrew is currently in a John Deere right now. What's going on, Andrew?
Hey, what up, fellas? How we living?
Hey, pretty good. How are you?
Good. Can you hear this power?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. How many ponies are under the hood down there, Andrew?
Oh, that's way too many. It's a 310J. Yeah, I lay pipe with it.
I don't doubt it.
Hell yeah.
It's a hell of a machine.
310J, dude?
Oh, top of the line.
That's when they were singing about being sexy.
That's right.
Yes. The 310J, when somebody saw it, that's sexy, and he was like, the country music, you're right, it is. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Oh, look at that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shit.
Hey, that's got a good cockpit in there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Pope Mobile with all the glass around the top there, but it ain't no Pope Mobile because this one's fucking breaking grind. Hell yeah.
Party in the front, business in the back, am I right?
Well, I do believe we got business
on
all
both
sides.
ends.
That's right.
Yeah, the plot down there in the front is, although a good time. It is a good time to get that thing going.
Fun.
Business is being handled, dude.
Everyone's getting plotted.
And then on the backside, whenever you start cracking earth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
You need the excavator back there, the big dog.
And the thing about the seat on this 310J, it turns.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it does.
So it's always in the front. Whatever you're working on, business can be on the front, both sides.
That's right.
Controls all around.
We worried about those front tires?
No, not at all.
That's how they roll.
No, they survive anything.
Those are standard Deere backhoe tires.
Look at the back
Someone like you
tires,
might be worried
Foxy.
about
Yeah, exactly. Foxy.
I'm just asking questions.
Foxy, it ain't about the front wheels. It's always about the back.
That's right.
All right, because these rear wheel powered vehicles that you would never
Yeah,
understand.
you don't know anything about that, Foxy.
You have no
I
idea.
would not know.
Wake up.
I got friends that know. I don't know.
Listen, when you're drifting gears, okay, on a rear wheel, especially if they're 600 some ponies, you got to watch for any plot holes or debris.
Of course.
Because you can and then hit a tree. Because the back end kicks out. And then you won't drive that car ever again. Because how are you not supposed to drift it? And I guess, how are you not supposed to hit another tree?
Yeah, right.
That's my life. Doesn't have to be yours, though. Thank you, Andrew, for calling from the 310J. That's a beautiful piece of machinery.
It is.
Gorgeous.
Take that thing another round. Oh, look at that thing prop itself up.
Lift kit.
That's why the wheels don't matter in the front, pal.
Yeah.
We're back in 6 minutes with hour 2. AJ Hawk will join us, Levante David. A lot to talk about. Rams, Cardinals, NFC, AFC. What's going on in the drama world around the league. We'll see you in 6. Cheers. lot of people for the way that they acted after that Friday thing. There's no way you're isolated enough that you don't hear any. You had to have heard. There's some massive names, politicians. I mean, your name has been spoke by a lot of people. Are you just, because you're like, hey, love will cure this thing. How are you not going to hold a grudge to everybody? And do you know that you're probably never going to win an MVP again? That's probably never going to happen, right?
I think that's a legitimate statement.
Legit though, like that. There's a lot of people that vote for that I think are not fan. Like, how do you isolate that? How do you stay away from that? Because you're talking about everybody on earth talking about you. That's not getting you down at all. I don't know. That's incredible mental toughness if that's the case.
Well, you know what? I think first, if you find your identity in yourself and you don't find your identity in the opinions of others, you don't need that validation and that love from other people. You can get it from yourself. And that's not being selfish. That's just learning how to, in a healthy way, love yourself and respect yourself and believe in yourself. And it definitely was tested, by some of the comments that I heard. And so I'm human. I mean, stuff can definitely hurt your feelings. But look, I shared an opinion that is polarizing. I get it. And I misled some people about my status, which I take full responsibility of, those comments. But in the end, I have to stay true to who I am and what I'm about. And I stand behind the things that I said. And I, have a ton of empathy for people who have been going through the worst part of this pandemic, which has affected all of us in different ways. But so many people, like I said, with lives that were lost, lives that were forever changed. And I have a ton of compassion and empathy for those people. And I've tried to help out, as much as I can.
Yeah.
The other stuff is so out of my control, and there's going to be people that don't like you, and and hate you for things you said, or might not even understand what you said or know what you said. It might just see a headline, and that's fine. I believe that people are entitled to their opinion, and even if it's an opinion that's unfavorable of me. But I'm going to continue to try and be the best version of me moving forward, and I'm excited about getting back on the field as soon as possible.
Hey, do you know if offense or defense is getting introduced this week in your game? And have you thought about it all, like what the reaction may be if offense is introduced and you're the last guy out? Have you thought about that?
I think it is offense, and I'm excited. There's nothing like running out of that tunnel last, especially.
You think it'll be different one way anyway than your normal, how they normally respond?
I don't know. I hope not. I hope
they should show that on the network.
Oh, that clip will make its way.
Oh, yeah.
That clip will make its way around. All right, well, hey, Bill, we appreciate the hell out of your time, man. This was one of the best conversations I've ever had in my life. I appreciate this.
All right. Well, I don't understand why it took you so long to get me on this show. I'm a huge fan of yours. I think you're hilarious. So don't be a stranger.
I don't know if you mean that or not. But
no, I do. And by the way, you know what I've been singing about the Patriots season so far? It's beginning to look a lot like 2001. Who is this Mac Jones? And we got Billy fucking B working on our fucking D, and all the Colts fans are gonna cry. Go fuck yourselves, everybody. I'll see you in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you in another week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr, thank you, man. That opening kickoff in that Super Bowl you're referring to with the Colts, Hester takes to the crib. You having a little bit of a heart attack there?
Very bad decision, Pat, on my part. All week up in Indy, we're practicing, and we know he's their number one threat. They don't have a lot of offensive weaponry. They win with defense and special team. So for the whole week, we're in Indy. We're not going to let him touch the ball. We practice squibbing to the corners, bouncing the ball, high kick, pop-up kickoff, punt it out of bounds. Everything to not let him touch the ball. We have a chapel service, and the chaplain talks about David and Goliath, and he says, hey, the reason David beat Goliath, he wasn't afraid. Everybody else was afraid. David ran right at him, threw it right between the eyes, and it was over. And I started thinking, we're playing. We're acting like we're afraid of Devin Hester. So I told the team on Saturday night, I hope we lose the toss. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick it right down the middle. When we pound him, they'll know we mean business. It's going to be over. We kicked it to him. 12 seconds later, he's in the other end. Sideline, looking at me saying, "What idiot decided to kick the ball to Devin Hester?" But fortunately, the last 59 minutes, the team made up for it.
Wait until they see the tone we set on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that was it.
I bet you Vinatieri was sitting there.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show, Hour 2 on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 14th, 2021, with AJ Hawk shall begin right now. Yeah. The Toxic Table has become the kings of the mountain, the kings of the castle. Number 1 in the AFC at Boston Connor, representing the New England Patriots. And number 1 in the NFC after the Cardinals lose at home to the Rams last night, representing the Green Bay Packer, an actual owner of the Green Bay Packers, Ty Schmidt. Tone Diggs is here, one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys, which go live every single day after this show ends, 15 minutes at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. D-A-H-N. Little indigestion there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
What's that all about?
That'll get you.
Green tea?
Is it the green tea getting me a little bit?
Maybe. Could be.
Well, I also took 5-hour energy earlier. You know, if you want to
that's
wake
right. I got a Pepsid out there if you need one.
Well, I don't normally get into the Pepsid AC.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got into that factor of my life yet. I hope to be a while, but I'll tell you what, if I keep eating like I do on these Sundays where P.F. Chang's,
what?
Dairy Queen,
what?
Arby's,
what?
McDonald's,
what?
Domino's,
what?
I mean, everything gets ate every Sunday.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm battling Monday, Tuesday to get everything out of me from Sunday. And then I get back on track by about Wednesday morning.
Sure.
And then guess what? Showing up on Saturday again. It's just this repetitive cycle. So maybe I should dive into the Pepsid AC tank a little bit to kind of cool some things down inside. Or I need to stop eating like a jackass.
No.
1 and 2.
After football.
It is so good, though.
Oh, delicious.
Joining us now is a man who hates eating. You know, he has grilled chicken and rice for every single meal because he is the epitome of a professional. College football national champion at the Ohio State University, Super Bowl champion at the Green Bay Packers, Ryder Cup champion for the United States golf team. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron James Hawk.
Aaron James!
What's up, dude?
That's false. I like food, and I do eat food. I don't only eat grilled chicken and rice. I eat plenty of different things.
Well, that's what Aaron told us last time, is that your wife...
Well, I mean, that's all he does is tell lies about me when he comes on.
Oh, he misleads everybody. What's this guy's deal?
Liar.
I was writing that verse.
Uh-huh.
So, the son of a bitch lied all the fucking time about what AJ
Not according to Collinsworth.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you mean? Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels are doing a lot of talking about Aaron Rodgers, the person, during that game as he was, throwing for 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions against the Chicago Bears. Just a couple days after, being asked if he regrets doing what he did after scoring a touchdown in Chicago while getting flipped off. Although I heard a lot of people say some terrible things on the field to each other, by the way, this past weekend. I wonder if any of that will be brought up as bulletin board material. In-game shit talk was being used as bulletin board material now for the Chicago Bears, so much so that Nagy had to answer it. He was having so much fun. And then Aaron said, no more fun for you. Okay, no more fun for you. And it felt like he and Devontae did something at halftime because Jalen Johnson was doing very well, I think, on the defensive side of the ball in the first half. And then in the second half, water found its level with Devontae and Aaron. They kind of went and did their thing. But what did you mean by Collinsworth didn't think he? What are you talking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about during the game, Collinsworth went on like a long thing saying, which I thought was good, saying like Aaron's been very honest and open. He's like, he's giving us his opinion. Collinsworth sounded like he was trying to say he's giving us his opinion on everything, and he's real just open and comfortable is what I took from it. But I think a lot of people say, "Oh, what are you talking about? He's not being honest."
Well, he's actually guarding and misleading people like fucking asshole.
I think Collinsworth was trying to say, like I've mentioned on here before, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, one of my favorite of all time. Kobe, as he got older, got really, really comfortable, I feel like, with the media, and you'd hear him. He would cuss all the time, like in regular sit-down interviews. He would give his, like, legit opinion, and I thought it was awesome. It was really fun.
Well, I think it's good because you get a chance to learn, from the people that are at the highest of high levels. Now, Kobe Bryant, obviously, absolute icon. We are not putting Aaron at Kobe's level. I don't want anybody to think we're doing that, okay? But what we're saying is, as these guys who are at the top of their field start to open up more, it's only good for society. It's only like the more I get to learn from Aaron Rodgers and learn about Aaron Rodgers, in my eyes, as somebody that likes to watch documentaries and know why greats are fucking great, like I would like to know what separates this particular human from that particular human. And getting to have these conversations has been fantastic. But there's a lot of people who say he needs to not do this anymore. He needs to go back to not saying anything when we could tell all the stories about him that we wanted and there was no rebuttal at all. There's a lot of people that think that. And I appreciate the fact that he says, nah, we're going to keep on having these conversations. I'm pretty excited about today's.
Yeah, I think I asked him maybe last season about that. I think he said, like, I don't care. Like, I don't worry about what's going on around me, whatever. I'm just going to give my opinion.
He definitely worries about what's going on around the NFL, though, because we've asked him a couple different times about situations in different places, and he's like, well, that team, they started out, 1-3, I think, and now they're like, blah, blah, blah. And he, runs through their entire record. And now it's coming out that he recalled a preseason play that Brett Favre ran in 2005 against the Buffalo Bills and used it in his head to score and throw the ball to Aaron Jones. He said Favre, in one preseason game, I think it was 2005, he made all his reads on a rollout, and then he threw back across his body to
Amon Green.
And I remember thinking to myself in the moment, in this preseason game, like 2005, oh, that was really cool that he did that. And then when he threw it back to Aaron Jones, he said he thought of that. So they did the research, and they're like, turns out Favre did throw a touchdown to Amon Green in that preseason game for 12 yards. And blah, just like last week. Or 2 weeks ago, or last week, whenever you asked him about throwing the ball 3 times in a game, and he was like, I don't think that would ever be necessary. And then a lot of people were like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to win a game, doesn't care about the Patriots winning, only cares about his stats or whatever. It was like, well, I don't think that's what he said at all if you listen to his answer. But in his answer, he was like, I think my first game we threw it 18 times. No, 22 times. And then he just moved on in the conversation, and people were like, turns out, he did throw it 22 times in his first ever fucking game, which is 17 years ago or whatever. It is amazing. I really enjoy these Tuesdays, man. I really enjoy the hell out of them, AJ.
Yeah, so do I. And you say it all the time. Like, his recall is off the charts. And I actually, what's weird is I think this morning I was listening to some of our old buddies from Tahoe. What do you call them? Noltzy and Stoltzy? Colt Nost and on Stoltzy, their podcast. You probably have no recollection of
golf guys.
Yeah. Well, they had Brandon Stokely on their podcast, and he was awesome. I didn't know. He's from Louisiana, like awesome Southern dude, played 15 years. He was talking about Peyton, and he was very funny, but he said the same thing. He's like, Peyton remembers everything. Like his memory, like he's never forgotten anything. He knows everything that's going on. So I think, yeah, those, especially the quarterback position, there's a certain personality types, a certain like drive, type A personality that I think it takes.
And I wonder if that's why the game is changing, because there's only a few people that have that trait, right? So and by the way, I couldn't do it. AJ couldn't do it. We're not talking about anybody that couldn't do it. What we're saying is, if you're a franchise and you know that is what makes your franchise quarterback be the best, he has to be able to throw, has to be able to interact with his teammates, has to be able to remain humble and have a great work ethic, but also has to have a brain that is absurd. And it doesn't have to be in anything other than football.
That's probably the most important thing, because there's a lot of guys that can slang it, that have an arm, that could look really good in a workout. There's a lot of guys out there, but there's not a whole lot of starting NFL quarterbacks that can consistently win games. Some guys can jump in and be a flash in the pan, but to consistently do it, yeah, you have to be something else.
And I wonder if that's why, like, the college game is starting to creep into the NFL game more, because they're like, hey, we don't listen. If
It's hard to find these guys.
If we're going to be waiting around for another guy with photographic memory that can call back, and then Mac Jones shows up, and everybody's like, "No, this
team's passing."
This guy, and everybody, it's like, how the hell does this happen? Like how does it happen? Why does this continue to happen? And we are now a part of the media in sports journalism. That's what we are, and we're supposed to be idiots. That is, nobody's really expecting us to make any groundbreaking decisions that'll navigate.
Everybody's an idiot. Like everybody, we're all idiots.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And now I'm looking at like Mac Jones, and we start thinking about Aaron calling
Not
back.
Matt. Yeah, you're not those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We start thinking about Aaron calling back to 2005 and then 2006. And then last year he said, oh, they ran a coverage that I saw in like my second game ever.
Yeah,
and in
Rain Man.
Yeah, in 25 seconds, though, he has to digest that entire thing and then what did they do before? Oh, they slid here. They did this. Oh, I got to go here. Boom, let's do that. Oh, shit, not enough time. Timeout. Okay. Yeah. And then Tom Brady can do it. Peyton Manning can do it. You hear these people talk about those who are at the top, what they can do and what they can't do. It came out that Mac Jones can do this thing. I don't know how every other team all these people that are supposed to be smart, we're not supposed to be smart. How do these other people that are supposed to be in positions of intelligence in football go, yeah, fuck that guy. We don't want him. Let's go ahead and let him fall. How's that happen, you think, when it seems so cut and dry now? But I guess we have hindsight to look back on. But I feel like that brain thing is what they should be testing on the quarter. How do we figure out who's got the brain and who doesn't have the brain?
Yeah, but you saw Zach Wilson roll left and throw the ball back to his right. You remember that? Are you kidding me? It was one of the greatest throws in the history of football.
Yeah, and I understand. And there was the Goldman standard that came out.
Yep.
Fields.
I mean, the Goldman standard.
Highest score ever.
And Fields, by the way, might be one of these guys as well. And the situation certainly helps for Mac because the fact that he fell out of all these, Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville.
Yikes.
Will we ever know? Will we ever know?
No way.
Zach Wilson at the Jets, and this is kind of, a bummer, but I think they're in the same, they're viewed the same way. Like, will we ever know? I have no idea. He's a Jet, and the Jets shouldn't be like that. They're in a massive, the Lions, same thing. Like, will we ever know? Or is this person's career just going to be wasted? And the more and more teams that get added to that list, it seems even more impressive what the coaches at New England and other places are able to do.
If you could redraft right now, would Mac go number one?
Yeah, I believe so, right?
Yeah, probably. But I also
Urban
think
Meyer, though?
Whoever ended up in New England, that was the best situation. So no matter who went
Will
there.
they take a quarterback if Mac wasn't available?
If it was like Trevor or one of those guys. I don't know about Trey Lance just because, who knows? We haven't really seen him play that much. But I feel like they would probably either have to take a quarterback or just recycle.
They didn't trade up at all, right? So everybody would think that if they really wanted a quarterback, they would have traded up. But maybe Bill, with his all-knowing brain, was like, hey, ain't nobody going to take this guy. This guy, if he's not going 30, he stinks. Everybody's going to hate him.
Yeah, and they already had Cam. They already brought Cam back, so just in case Mac wasn't ready or whoever they were going to pick.
Just think of the situation, though. Did you hear? Look at the situation. If you see how much, for quarterbacks especially, your situation matters so much. Look at Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, what he's going through day to day, and then on Sundays, and then compared to Mac Jones, Bill Belichick's been doing it for however many decades, a well-oiled machine. Urban's come in trying to get his feet underneath him, I guess, as they say, and trying to get his roots in the NFL. And the rest of your team, who knows what's going on. And, there's just so much turmoil, and I would imagine it's vastly different if you followed both those guys around for a week.
Yeah, if we had Hard Knocks on, or one of those HBO 24s on Trevor Lawrence, on Mac Jones, it's a little bit different. They had to explain to Bill Belichick what a chop house actually was.
Yeah.
It's a chop house. What are we chopping?
Hell?
Oh, we take axes. Well, that's what we've been saying this entire time. Keep chopping. That's a chop house. Like, no, sir. Actually, it's a meat and boozy establishment that Urban Meyer owns, and he didn't fly back with his team actually, so he could visit it in the middle of the football season. Bill Belichick, this guy fucking stinks. It's vastly different. You're right. Situations are certainly situational in this particular case, but it will never make sense to me on how Mac Jones ended up in New England, especially with how it appears as if it's going to be going. They're number one in the AFC. Obviously, you see the signs that were very, very, very expensive to make. First in the NFC, first in the AFC. The toxic table is all of a sudden the king of everything. Let's talk about last night and why the Green Bay Packers are the top of the NFC. The Arizona Cardinals coming out of a bye week look a little clunky. First play of the game, Aaron Donald drives guard 7 yards into backfield, gets a sack, ends it with one. Had 3 sacks, a pass deflection that led to an interception in the red zone. Took over the game completely. Arizona Cardinals, I think they're going to bounce back. I don't have much worry about them. Maybe this was a good wake-up call for them. What was your takeaway after watching this game, AJ?
It turned into a fun game to watch. I would say, starting on that first play, Aaron Donald, he does things that he makes people look like they're middle schoolers, and that's the crazy thing too. Aaron Donald, he's not a gigantic human. It's unnatural, not unnatural, but a guy shouldn't be able to move like he is. What does he weigh? 295
Aaron Donald
something, with a straight six-pack. Like that's not. He's just such a freak in how he moves and how strong he is. So I think we knew once we saw that first play, like, all right, this may be a fun one for us.
Hey, that's that East Hills water, dude.
Yeah, man, for real. That's his root. Like that goes back to his roots, man. Like that dude is cock strong at all times.
285, by the way, and I saw the video of. In his basement, where he grew up in Penn Hills, which is in the East Hills of Pittsburgh. It's next to Plum and Penn Hills used to be a rivalry. And then, Penn Hills did beat Plum in basically everything just going forward. But they showed a clip of, him working out. And he told his dad after he signed his deal, hey, you can retire now. And they went back to how that's all Aaron Donald loved was just working out from the very beginning. And now he has a gym at the UPMC training complex that he donated to Pitt. He has his own locker room. I mean, he has dedicated his entire life to being a physically dominant human being. And everybody on earth knows it. Everybody, even people that don't know a lot about football, they say, oh, Aaron Donald, he's a really fucking good guy, right? Because how come Arizona, do you think... what do you think happened? How
it's hard to double. If it's a pass rush, or whatever, it's hard to. What are you going to take your tackle and double Aaron Donald?
That's what they've been doing. They've been doing that to him.
I know, but he's great at splitting those doubles too. And then all of a sudden you're screwing the rest of your guys. So you got to try to figure it out. And when a guy is there is definitely many plays in each game where Aaron Donald is pretty much unblockable, and the quarterback just has to hope he gets rid of the ball.
How about that James Conner touchdown down in the goal line where Aaron came flying around? Yeah. Aaron, by the way, goal line offense. Okay, guy comes scot-free somehow because he just throws a guy, which in of itself is insane because that is the entire goal of that play is to make it a scrum basically. So everybody instead Aaron Donald comes scot-free, grabs James Conner who throws him. He gets tossed around two people, lands on his feet. Did anybody? He landed on his fucking feet.
Like a cat. You could throw a cat off a roof. Don't they land on their feet?
200. Yeah, because they actually have an ability to open up their body like a parachute and find landing. Yeah, that is a natural ability for the cats to do. It's kind of insane to watch them and have a bunch of little ones roaming around. But at 285, he fucking landed on his feet. The guy is just a freak show. Is he enough, you think, on the defensive side? Obviously, Jalen Ramsey not playing. He's not happy about it, called a bunch of bullshit. And he said, don't even reach out to me, by the way, fucking, all right? To whom it may concern, don't hit me up, please, says Jalen Ramsey, who I am a massive fan of. Do you think the Rams, after last night, you think they're telling themselves, and do you think you have bought in at all that maybe the Rams can go on a run here? I think the Cardinals are going to bounce back. Slow game. They're not great at home. They're going to have to figure that out, obviously, to become a real contender. But off the bye week, got smacked in the mouth by a division rival who didn't have all their players. Maybe they'll bounce back. What about the Rams, though? Matthew Stafford had a game that made me feel like, okay, this is what we thought Matthew Stafford was going to be able to become with Sean McVay's offense. What are your thoughts on the Rams' future now?
I mean, I like him. I really like their defense. Just imagine if Von Miller gets going. Once he gets more comfortable in the scheme and really gets it gets centered there, figure everything out. That is another added element. The dude is an MVP, right? Super Bowl MVP. Was he the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I don't know if he was MVP. They probably gave. No, they did.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, they did. He batted the ball out of Cam Newton's hand. Give me that.
They had him covering Rondale Moore in a wheel route last night. I'm not sure how comfortable he's going to be with that. I hate when defense coordinators do that.
Yeah. Sometimes that does happen, unfortunately. If they got the right play on here, you have to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think it's by design. That's a check, right? Something just happened. You kind of got
or
fucked.
The offense guessed right and hey, if they're going to do this and they're going to drop Vaughn to the flat here, we're going to run this wheel right up the seam and see what he does.
Rondale Moore is very quick.
Yeah. Very explosive.
Kyler Murray.
Some of those balls that Stafford threw too were beautiful.
Man.
That deep over to was it Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and there was a couple. I mean, Orlovsky said that the one throw, just immediately after Herbert just had a 70 whatever yard toss off of 2 steps in a bucket, just. Big time moment for Herbert. I mean, that was a massive moment. Orlovsky goes, hate to break to you, this throw is better than that one or whatever. And that's because Orlovsky's friends with Stafford. But I think we all expected this out of Stafford because of if you watched him play or had to play against him or had to watch. He's so fucking talented, and it feels like he has the right mindset to kind of handle.
He's so driven. He's so crazy competitive. I know from playing against him, like that dude. If all of a sudden a sword came flying out of the crowd and was stabbing him through his heart, he'd be like, "It doesn't matter. We got to finish this drive, guys. We got 30 seconds left." Like, he'll find a way.
Hey, don't take it out. That'll make it bleed more. That's amazing.
Honestly, that's the kind of guy I feel like he is from playing against him.
Broken neck, he's had back, ribs,
ankle,
Fucked
Detroit.
up fingers and hands and stuff.
Yeah, had Detroit kind of all
That's
over.
just the stuff we know
All
about.
over.
We don't know about a lot of the stuff that bothers him.
And he just played. Last night he started limping a little bit, and I was like, "Is Stafford going to be hurt?" And I
You
was
see his
like,
post game interview? You see his post game with Cooper Kupp?
What happened?
I did. I was actually like more impressed, and he felt like it looked like he was almost disappointed. Like they were talking about his connection with Cooper's like, yeah, I missed a few of them. Like he definitely wasn't overly excited about the win. Like, oh, this is the best. Like you could tell he was in his mind. He's like, yeah, I got to figure things out.
Cooper, and this is his first year in that offense, right? And
Yeah,
Aaron,
exactly.
when Aaron was in the first year with the LaFleur offense, he still had like 20-some touchdowns and like low single-digit interceptions.
Like 2 or 3, yeah.
Which led to the greatest clip of all time from Aaron. You know, down years for me are career years for other people. Everybody's talking about me falling off. First year in a brand new offense, threw 2 interceptions and 20-some times. Get the fuck out of here, basically. But then as he got more comfortable with the offense, obviously, and it's kind of become his offense, I think. I think he has been the one that has told LaFleur, and he and LaFleur have had a great relationship, I think, sitting down saying this is what we want to do. McVay and Stafford, they have, 4 years together probably at least?
Yeah.
Have to.
Out there, at least 4 years maybe? I don't know.
I would imagine McVay definitely wants at least 4 years.
So they're only going to continue to grow, and I think that's probably what Stafford's talking about, where
Stafford will feel so much more comfortable when they start OTAs this offseason. Yeah. It's going to be like, okay, good. Like you get that recall, like everything. You don't have to. It just becomes second nature, I feel like.
And let's talk about Odell Beckham Jr. 3 straight games with touchdowns in him, obviously. He looks fast, had 70-some yards last night, made some great catches, had the fade 2 games ago or whatever the case. You know, some people, Justin Jefferson included out of LSU, that LSU alumni wide receiver room is obviously very tight, always have been, always will be. Justin Jefferson said, hey, people are saying that OBJ was the problem in Cleveland. Here we have 3 tuds in 3 weeks with McVay's offense, and McVay loves him. You know, I watched some mic'd up things, and McVay's telling Stafford, like, hey, tell Odell he's all by himself right here. Like, we are going to Odell Beckham Jr., basically. That is, and they got him going early. Which I think is a big deal.
They use him well. I thought they had some beautiful play calling last night by McVay when Stafford he delivered at times. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but man, some of those balls he looked like these guys can make a run.
Hey, we're happy for OBJ, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I am.
How about OBS too? He's pretty pumped.
Cleveland stinks, and Baker stinks.
Happy for anybody
They
that
just
gets
won
to
the
escape
game.
Cleveland.
What's that, bud?
Happy for anybody that gets to escape Cleveland and go to a city like LA. That's an awesome story.
Truly.
What's going to happen with the Browns? I mean, who cares? We're not talking about them right now. They just got a big win over the Ravens. Hey, congrats.
Congrats,
Browns.
They got bigger issues coming out right now.
What?
They got a lot of COVID.
Well, I think the Omicron, and I'm not getting into this entire thing because I don't know shit about fuck, especially in this world, but I think the Omicron is a fast runner.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if it might be the strongest thing of all time. I'm not sure that's how it was originally pitched, but I think the way it's being talked about now is it's very minimal, right? Like very minimal side effects from some particular strains, not all Omicrons, but some. And we understand that people are still passing away. COVID is still a thing. I very much get it. But
Very much a thing, especially depending on which state you're in, yeah.
First time I had to show my vaccination card to get into places was out in L.A., by the way.
Oh, yeah.
They were worse checkers of the vaccination card than most of the clubs that I went to when I was 15, 16 with a fake ID, I will say.
Going through the motions.
I was expecting a little bit more. One person didn't even know my name, looked at the card, okay, you're good. It was like, you don't need to know my name? What?
Usually you have to give them your ID with it.
Yeah, didn't this particular place. No, you're good to come in there. It's like, all right, but what if Omicron's running through and they're creating positive tests, obviously. People are positive because Omicron is.
They just passed a statewide mask mandate for California, indoors.
I did have.
I believe so.
Today?
It goes until January 15th I don't know.
Well, because it's not just the Browns. There's 37 players currently. And I don't know how many are serious Side effects and symptoms. I went through it. I had 104.5 degree fever. I would like to talk about some chills and aches, but I guess not everybody's doing that. And allegedly, the Omicron is a quick spreader, and it's not as bad symptom-wise. I wonder how the NFL is going to deal with that, because Omicron might be the most permeable variant of COVID.
Well, who's tier 1, tier 2? Sorry, who is tier 1, tier 2? They have to get the boost right now.
Okay, so here we go. We can talk about that. There's a great lead into it. Tier 1, tier 2 employees of the NFL have to get the booster or the vaccination. This is coming via Diana Rossini. A memo from the NFL is expected to go out tomorrow to inform teams that all tier 1 and tier 2 employees are mandated to receive a COVID-19 vaccine booster shot per sources. Okay, so that is anybody that's around the players on a day-to-day. The coaches, the equipment managers, the athletic trainers, the video staff, the chefs, people in the building that have to deal with the players or in close proximity to the players. The players are in a different thing because the NFLPA, the union, has a different set of rules. The tier 1, tier 2 employees of the teams that have to be around the players on a daily basis now have to live by their own rules.
Okay, so that's obviously all the coaches as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do they have like a deadline where they have to get it?
I assume that tweet right there was the NFL telling all the coaches.
Yeah, they'll come into the facility, I guess, and do it. So they won't. Yeah, they got to make it easy for them.
Hey, just a heads up. I don't know if you hadn't seen Diana Rossini's tweet or not, but guess who's back?
There's a cart outside your office with a lady, and she's going to give you a shot. So just stick your right shoulder out there, and while you keep your clicker in your left hand, so you don't miss any film.
Yeah, we don't want there to be any issues with you watching 3rd and longs. All right,
Sure.
So just like in jail, how you put your hands out of a goddamn thing to get your food, we will need you to just stand on the door with the door open. You won't even know they're there. Don't even have to talk to them. But if you want to be in this building, you're going to have to do it, or you get the fuck out of here. I wonder. Is the booster going to become mandated for everybody, I assume? This is the next round of...
It's crazy.
Here we go.
Doesn't Gumpy? He knows usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not getting into that.
What's that?
Well, Gump's been working hard back there. Thank you, Gump.
Thank you, Gump.
Thank you, Gump. Let's move on. Oh, we got to get to a break. Levante David is joining us in 3 minutes or whatever.
Go.
Have to get to a break so we can potentially talk to him longer on the back end. Because if we don't get to a break, we'll have to cut off with him at a certain time. I feel like this conversation could be great. He's been on before. He's been good.
Yes.
Yeah. And their team is obviously in the middle of a playoff hunt. Cannot wait to chat about life down in Tampa Bay, Gronkaneers. Can't wait to chat with Levante David, who's been a member of that team since 2012.
Damn.
Now he's experiencing the glory days. Can't wait to chat about that and more on the other side of this break. We'll see you in 4. Bounce for this thing here, you know what I mean?
What's it for? Is it like a sand wedge?
Anything close to the green. It's like a 60.
Yeah.
I think it's like 60.
Little rescue club.
Yeah.
I used it one time on a course. I duffed it 4 times, and I said, that one's going to the studio. That one's never seen a course again.
Is that the one you got to just use the same stroke as a putter?
No, that's the chipper. The little
that little thing that you use in the fringe area?
Yeah. If I ever get into pro golf, which is probably going to happen after this whole thing, that one's going to be one of the spots in my bag.
Yeah. They say use the 9.
They're illegal, though.
What?
I think those little chipper deals are illegal.
Bullshit!
Yeah. It's all right. You won't ever get close enough.
I will, dude. Wait until you hear what we're up to. And then,
I mean, I don't care. You could put 9 golf simulators in the Coliseum. It's not going to make you a pro golfer.
It's not a Coliseum, by the way. It's a fucking igloo.
It's
All
called
right?
the
Get it right,
you
AJ.
asswipe.
We've already talked about it.
Wake up.
You guys all at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's a branding thing, you know?
How many times do you have to
I
tell
tell you
you
what,
the
it
same
is
thing?
mesmerizing just watching you do this.
It's
on the ride.
crazy.
It really
How about
is.
you get some air under that thing? That's nothing. You have like 3 inches of pipe.
I mean, it's
You
AJ.
piece of shit.
How dare you?
How about you
scumbag,
have
dude.
some awareness?
What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on you. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them.
Nice.
But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start
you know,
self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. When did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't even know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
First hour. We talk sports and rock. Yeah. With AJ Hawk. This is not a mock. Yeah. Of a song that's rock. Yeah. Sports talk. Sports talk and rock with AJ Hawk. Yeah. Rock. Hell yeah. AJ Sports and talking on the rock. Yeah. The bone. Yeah. Go on home with AJ Hawk. It's rock. Yeah. Sports. Yeah. Talk. Yeah. Welcome back.
This Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is presented by Arby's.
Oh, love Arby's.
Oh, love Arby's.
Love Arby's.
And if you've been eating greasy pizza, terrible burgers, and feeling like crap, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Head to Arby's and enjoy the classic roast beef.
What?
Beef and cheddar.
What?
And the chicken cheddar ranch.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Each of these are available on the 2 for $6 everyday value menu. These are full-size sandwiches with the high-quality meats you can only find at Arby's. They don't shrink them down to a junior size like you might find somewhere else. That's 2 full-size Arby's sandwiches for $6 daily. The best deal in the game. Go get yours today.
Shout out to Arby's. Shout out to, they still have the boneless wings going?
Oh, yeah. They
It's
do.
unbelievable. Really, really good. I can't thank them enough for their support and their incredible work in the sandwich game. They have all the meats. Let's not forget it. Levante David has not called us yet. Maybe coming out of practice, maybe doing something. Once he calls in, we will get to him. Right now, I think we should chat, AJ, about Mike Tomlin discussing coaching as a whole and kind of, dealing with the, go to the full quote, please, dealing with becoming Chase Claypool's coach and the dealing with growth of guys from college into the NFL, not just on the field, also off the field. Brooke Pryor put a quote out. Brooke Pryor has followed the Steelers. It is her job to take quotes from the press conferences and put them onto the internet. Yep. But Brooke and Aditi had a little bit of a situation. There we go. Zoom in on that thing right there, Zito. That one right there. Yep. Boom. When he was asked about, the first down signal with Chase Claypool, Mike Tomlin said, we don't wait for stuff like that to happen to address it. That's built in our 2-minute teachings at team development. And obviously, he had a misstep in that area. He had missteps in other areas. He's a young guy who is growing and developing in a lot of ways that can't happen fast enough for him, and it can't happen fast enough for us. We're going to continue to push that growth and development as long as he's a willing participant. He has been, and so we're just going to keep moving forward. That can be said about a lot of guys, These guys don't come to you as finished products. That's another component of coaching that I embrace and we collectively embrace. It's the reason why we make what we make, and there's so many of us, because these guys are less than finished products in most instances when we get them. And so there's a growth and development that has to take place. You guys are witnessing growth and development in Deontay Johnson, not only in quality of play and skills relative to his position, but in maturity. He's a year older than Chase, so that's going on all around us. We're seeing the pains of growth and development sometimes when young people have to participate. You see inconsistency consistency in Presley Harvin's performance. We've had less than ideal plays from Pat Freiermuth, but we know that we're pouring into something into all of those guys. And although there's some short-term negativity associated with the pain and discomfort of that, they go through in terms of growing and learning, and oftentimes it's negative. We know to benefit individually and collectively of staying on task and them gaining that expertise and experience. And it's reasonable to expect that some of those hiccups to disappear and some quicker than others. What a fucking answer about, hey, this is what I do as a coach, not just call X's and O's and watch film. It's about growing and development and maturity. Incredible answer about the Chase Claypool situation that I assume Tomlin knew he was going to get asked about.
Well, if Mike Tomlin hasn't written a book yet, I hope he writes a book someday, because this dude, it seems like he's always teaching a masterclass on being a leader and how to lead a group of people and one direction. Yeah, I think this answer is awesome. You're not killing your guys, but you are holding them accountable, and you're letting us know exactly how your whole process works. So, I mean, that's not many coaches can give you that long of an answer that, like, everything you read, like, yeah, okay, oh, yeah, all right, here we go. Like, everything seems to make a lot of sense. Like, yeah, it's just part of the process. I'm not going to kill my guys here publicly, but privately, I'm sure he is very, very hard on them. But they know that he cares about them. That's all that matters.
And I think the big deal with Tomlin is, and he told us this, he has kids about that age. Mm-hmm. So he is, kind of experienced that generation, those folks, through the eyes of his kids and through the eyes of his own experience. And although Tomlin normally just speaks in hilarious coach speak, he'll say some cliche way or cliche statement in a way that has never been said before, and it's amazing and it's incredible. This time, he went a very, very long, detailed way into describing what coaching is as a whole and why he won't just cut these guys, because there's growth and development that has to happen. So although Chase Claypool is making a lot of money, and you see him on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays, and he's a professional athlete, and he's an adult, he can buy booze, he can vote, he can do all that. There is still a lot of development that has to take place, and we're trying to make sure that happens behind closed doors. And it's not just because of what happened in the last game. This has been happening all along. I thought it was a great answer. Once again, Tomlin's the fucking guy. I love Mike Tomlin. And also, he addressed a situation that isn't easy to address, and he knew he was going to have to address it in the Chase Claypool, one of your superstar situation.
Yeah, it sucks because, like, I held Chase to the fire because it was a dumb fucking play, and it's not his first one. But then, like, you think about yourself as a 23-year-old, like,
in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity in Pittsburgh. People don't see it.
Like an absolute asshole. But, like, athletes are held to a higher standard. We think that they should act more mature than their actual ages.
It's a privilege, not a right. To be in the NFL, and everybody kind of holds you at that standard, and there's no Yinzer that gives a fuck about Chase Claypool growing as a human, all right? Correct. Catch the goddamn ball, give the ball to the ref, line back up, and shut the fuck up, Chase, all right? And don't be doing any of those logo dancing like that son of a bitch Juju. Like, that is how a lot of football fans feel, and it's because, I don't want to say it's been the dehumanization of athletes, but athletes have forever been put up on a platform that people forget, like, oh, these are humans. Like,
they're not humans. I'm guilty of that. If I watch especially other sports where I don't really know the dudes, I'm like, these guys aren't humans. They are so good at what they do. I went to that Ohio State Duke basketball game, and I'm like, is every player going to be drafted in the first round? They all look so good to me.
Hey, make the fucking free throw. Okay. You watch, hey, how'd you miss that dunk? How did you miss that dunk as two other 7-footers were trying to put their hands in your face? It happens all the time because of how much respect I think we have, but often the hard work gets forgotten about. The human behind the Madden number is forgotten about, and this is a beautifully illustrated point from Tomlin, like, hey, every day is a chat. Like, every day we're trying to.
And he said we don't wait for something like that to happen to address it, which I liked. He's like, no, we've gone over that in the spring, in training camp. Like, we have these, this is what we do, and we drill it into them. But, yeah, of course, they're young people. There's a lot going on. Like, things are going to happen. As he said, there's going to be hiccups.
And the practice facility is located at the end of a street that has a Guinness World Record for most amount of bars per capita.
Ooh, really?
And Pittsburgh is a place that does enjoy a bar or two every once in a while. I'm not saying that Chase or anybody's doing that, especially with COVID and how everything's going, but there's a lot of potential distractions in every city. Let's hope that Chase is able to dial it in. Let's hope he's continued to grow because he is a superstar. Speaking of superstar, a man that was drafted out of Nebraska, born and raised in Miami, absolute superstar linebacker, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, now Super Bowl champion from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ladies and gentlemen, Levante David.
Yeah!
Sup, dude?
What's up? What's up with it?
Hey, we're going to have to call you back. We'll call you back right now, Levante. We'll see you in like 2 seconds. Get a little tighter connection there. You know what I mean? AJ, technology is the greatest thing of all time, worst thing of all time. Don't think we had a good connection. Got to take the tractor another round. And then we'll park that son of a bitch, and then we'll make a good connection with old Levante. David in the conversation should be absolutely fantastic. Joining us again, ladies and gentlemen, Levante. David. Yeah! Perfect.
What's up? What's up?
What are you doing? Is today your off day? You back at home, hanging out, relaxing, saying, hey, the team's good, let's have a good time with it?
Man, never off day. Never off day. I just came back from the facility actually getting some extra work done, trying to get prepared for the week.
Okay, so the last time you were on, we talked about this, where you came to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2012. There was a lot of hard times down there in Tampa. And obviously, every NFL building experiences wins and losses. But now that you guys have come into not only winning a Super Bowl in your own stadium, but here we are in a back-to-back year looking to make a run in an NFC that is a massive question mark. How's the vibe in Tampa as a whole and in that locker room, Levante?
The vibe is real good. It's real smooth. Everybody just going about it, day to day. And then in the locker room, we all just, taking it one day at a time, one game at a time. Really no looking forward. Everybody just worrying about what we can attack, this upcoming week. We got a division opponent coming up, Saints. You all know how those past games been, so we definitely focus on that. We can't look ahead.
Do you ever find yourself talking to some of the young guys like, hey, man, you guys don't know, like, I've paid my dues here. I've been here a while, been through multiple different coaching staffs. I guess what has it been like from when you first got there until now? Like, what's that whole journey been like? And what's it been like to coach, or I guess to play for, is this your fourth coach now?
Yeah, fourth coach. Shoot, I tell them all the time. I'm like, man, look, y'all have no idea of what me and some of the guys who've been here and some people in the staff been through, since 2012. Man, it's been up and down. It's been some crazy times. We've seen some stuff. We've seen a lot of people come in and out. So I'm like, man, y'all got it good right now. Y'all basically getting spoon fed, man. You come in, you got Tom Brady as your quarterback. You win the Super Bowl, you in the playoffs, you got winning records. Man, y'all ain't see the other side of it. But it's definitely good to be a part of, man. But we got a lot of good young guys, man, who take in the knowledge that the vets give them.
Yeah, the boat parade life is much different, than what you guys had been experiencing down there. Hopefully no manatees were hit in the drunkenness that was that celebration in Tampa that has set a new bar for parades and celebrations, I think. Let's talk about last year's run and then this year. Last year, after the bye week, it felt like your entire team kind of came together. The defense started flying around. Everybody was on the same page. Championship defense was being played. On the offensive side, it felt like you guys were changing what you guys were up to and what you guys were doing offensively. I know that's not a part of your department, but down the stretch, it really felt like you guys were becoming a team last year. It's like, okay, this is why all the hype whenever it came into this season. This year, do you guys feel like you're anywhere near what you can be? Are you guys still developing? And what is kind of the day-to-day in there? Do you guys still feel like you got a lot to prove?
We still feel like we got a lot to prove. We talk about it every time. December football is where it get down to nitty-gritty. All those tough games come in, you got to win them out. We just won the overtime, last week, and there's going to be a lot of close games, coming in like that this upcoming weeks. So December football is really, really brutal. So we definitely try to lock in and hone in. Last year we hit the stride running, coming off a bye week. We got guys back healthy. Whatever happened on offense, it worked at the perfect time. And then whatever happened on defense, it worked at a perfect time. So, now we still trying to get some guys back healthy, still trying to get some guys back in the groove so we can be able to hit the stride again.
Can you go back to training camp and remember, I guess, what your schedule and everything was? Because all I remember is BA in some of these after the boat parade or later on throughout the offseason talk about he's going to kill you guys in camp. And Pat and I would talk about it a lot. Like, man, I want to go watch these practices. I don't want to be a part of them. I'd like to watch them because they're going to kill each other. Like, how was camp this year?
Camp was real physical, like no other. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of banging. A lot of full padded practices. A lot of cursing each other out. A lot of offense on defense brawls and stuff like that. And it's getting real competitive. Obviously when you got Tom on the other side and then guys on defense. Me, Devin. some guys like that, it get real competitive. And you got AB on the other side too as well. So it get real competitive, real fun. And then it's the point where like you keep beating up on each other throughout camp. You just like one day somebody just gonna let it loose and be like, forget it, just get a brawl in or whatever it may be. And then I remember we had a practice with the Tennessee Titans. That was fun to be a part of, to get a chance to go against another team, a joint practice, and that week doing that practice was real fun to be a part of.
Did you guys feel like, we're the Super Bowl champs, but we ain't no bitches either? I mean, Antonio Brown, I think, landed a clean left, if you do remember, in that fight. How do you guys keep that edge down there? Because we know Tampa, there's cranes everywhere. That place is being built up. And the golf is gorgeous. What's that one street that kind of goes along the, it's across, there's a view that is just gorgeous. And you guys have won, and you're a bunch of OGs now at this point down there, although you got some young people. How do you guys keep that edge, you think? Do you think it's within the locker room, like you guys know, and you guys just have to continue to build, or what is it?
I think it's within the locker room. It all starts with the head man, BA. BA, man, he tells us all the time, you can't get complacent. You can't, think about last year. You got to be able to move forward from that. We still have that underdog mentality, and we got to have a lot of guys who have that mentality. Me in particular, knowing where I came from, I want to continue to, keep building on what we done last year. So I don't want to go back to down that old path. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, me as one of the guys to try to just hone in on a lot of the young guys, let them know, last year was last year. This is a new season, so it's a lot of different stuff we need to continue to improve on to be able to get where we want to be at the end of the season.
Hey, when you watch Josh Allen start rolling there, were you like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Did you think that? And how do you rank him as when it comes to like tackling him?
Oh man, Josh Allen is a special talent. I didn't know he was that fast. I did not know he was that fast. He's one of those guys who, like, once he get going, his momentum going, just keep on carrying him. And it's definitely hard to tackle. I know y'all seen the picture of Devin White jumping on his back trying to sack him. So he's definitely a big dude, bigger than I expected, and he's a special talent in this league, man. And his future is definitely bright.
You guys definitely had a good draft, too. It seems like from the top down, your organization's running pretty smooth right now. But I wanted to ask you about Antoine Winfield back there. Steps in as a rookie, makes a bunch of big plays during the season, in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl. Like, did you expect a guy like that to come in day one and be able to have such an impact?
The crazy thing is, I didn't know what to expect from Antoine. I didn't know how they was going to use him. I didn't know they was going to force him in right away. But I remember one time, during last year, during training camp, when we came in, we was doing walkthroughs and things, and he was in the back, calling out plays, calling out adjustments and stuff like that, calling out what he got to do with his assignments. And I kind of look behind him like, I don't, usually see a rookie doing stuff like that, being real vocal. Sometimes they just the rookies just try to chill and just try to learn. But he stepped in right away and did some great things, and he kind of impressed me right away. And in the show with the season he had and the season he's having right now. Torn definitely has emerged as a leader, in our secondary, on our defense as a whole. As a young football player, he got a lot of respect from the vets, and obviously his dad played a long time, and his dad taught him some great things, and he's proven it.
Let's talk about the secondary. I mean, so many injuries at corner, and then Sherman comes in. He gets another pick. He was out for a couple weeks. I don't know if his body's fully ready to go full time in there, but how do you address that with Bowles? Like, what did he say? Hey, listen, next man up is obviously awesome, but when you're like 6-7 deep in the next man up, it kind of becomes a little bit tiring. Do you think that has kind of slowed down the growth of this year's defense, all the injuries that have happened on the back end?
Yeah, to a certain extent. We came in off season, with a certain type of style that we wanted to play, and then we lose one of our guys, Sean Murphy Bunting, at the beginning of the season, so it kind of changed up a little bit. And then we end up losing Carlton, one of our top guys, and then Dean's been in our lineup, and then you got some other guys coming in and out. So it definitely changed up the philosophy that Coach Bowles, try to implement for the defense. But with those guys, like you said, man, it's a next man up and mentality. And then you got Coach Rock, Coach Ross, who's a great DB coach. He just try to get those guys going. It was always like put another bullet in the chamber and keep firing. We got a lot of young guys back there But we got faith in all of them that step out on the field with us.
Well, we got a couple stud linebackers flying around. Yeah. And that D-line, hey, Vita Vea, it looks like he's gotten faster somehow over the years. What is Vita Vea like on the day-to-day? What a fucking animal that guy is.
Yeah, Vita, man, Vita, that's my boy. On a day-to-day basis, he coming in the building, you know, he always walking around like he owns the building because he's so big, so you just automatically put that on him. You know, when you walk in, you're like, oh, this must be the guy who's on everything here. But he's definitely a big, you know, big cool, chill, big guy. You know, loves joking around, loves playing around, loves, you know, laughing. But when it's time to get on the field, you know, he's definitely a guy who's always locked in. You know, you don't see big guys communicating as much, but he's on the D-line communicating, talking. And, you know, it's good to always have him, you know, in front of me week to week, you know, so he's definitely a fun person to play around. But, you know, man, I give my hat off to all those guys up front. Sue, Will, Nacho, Big Steve, all those guys, man, they're a huge part of what we do defensively.
Vita Vea ate a helmet. He ate one with his tooth. He said, give me a fucking helmet right now.
Yeah.
And on this show, he called him Dominican Sue, big girl.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, this guy's got all the confidence in the world. He's awesome to watch. Did you get surprised that the Colts didn't run the ball against you guys when they were up 17 or no? You don't have to answer it, all right? Yeah, you don't have to answer it. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
Levante, obviously you're from Miami, but I know you went to Nebraska, and I can't remember if we asked you this before, but have you got on horseback with Devin White yet? Is that something you're maybe considering doing in the future here? If you guys win the Super Bowl again, you go hit the trails with him on horseback?
I've been horseback riding one time, but it wasn't with Devin. But I'm considering doing it with Devin. Devin tries to invite you over his house and say he wants you to horseback ride, but he gonna want you to clean out the stalls and stuff. So I try to, he wants you to help him clean out everything with the horses. So I just be like, man, make sure all that clean first, and then invite me over.
Hey, that's smart. You got to earn your ride over there. Hey, welcome. You've never been here before. You don't know any of these horses, but first we're gonna make sure this shit is cleaned up. We need to get this hay over here. Let's go ahead and do these horses. That's hilarious. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Levante, have you or any of the guys on the team watched the Tom Brady documentary to learn a little bit more about him, or are you just waiting until the Buccaneers episode to relive the Super Bowl again?
Nah. I've been watching. Me and my wife been watching it. Just try to get a chance to see. I only known Tom for a year, so I just try to see how he was back then when he first started and stuff like that. So.
No.
Sorry. That's on me.
Yeah, that's a terrible question.
I know.
What happened?
Why do you always got to tie things back to the Patriots?
I just wanted to ask. Plus, my real question was Ty's question. He just asked right before the amount of times that happens.
Yeah. I thought that was a good question, Connor. I was really.
Oh, shut up, AJ.
That was good. That was a good
serious,
question,
Connor.
Because I had a couple follow-ups there too from watching Tom. Because Vrabel, all Vrabel said basically in that goddamn thing was, hey, this little quarterback you all have, he can handle. He's a little bit different. So, hey, Levante, you're back. Hey, Levante! Yeah! Guy's Super Bowl champ. Welcome back. The man in the arena, Tom Brady. Have you learned anything about him you think that you haven't been able to pick up in the last year, and what are your overall thoughts?
Yeah, just a little bit. Learn how he came from where he was at the beginning to where he's at now. His whole mentality, how his mentality changed, and how he became the leader that he is. So I'm definitely seeing a lot. I'm learning a lot about him by watching the documentary, and it's cool to see.
Hey, is Scott Frost going to be able to get it done in Nebraska?
They stink.
Of course.
No, they stink.
They stink.
You guys stink, dude. You guys stink.
Nah, man. Nah, I got all faith in the real and Scott Frost, man. I've met him, multiple times. He's a great dude, and it's definitely going to turn around real soon.
Okay. Hey, when I say this, how cool do I sound? Nebraska's straight trash, dude. Hey, that is such a Miami. I heard you say it earlier about hitting your stride, and everything. How often do you go back to Miami? Is that still home in the off season? You still dialed in down there?
Yeah, Miami's home. I just finally finished my house down there, so I call it home in the off season. My family's back down there, so it's cool to get back, with family and friends, in the off season to wind down a little bit. But, Tampa's a beautiful place. Obviously, this is my second home, but I can't go away from home in Miami.
So many freak athletes out of Miami. Why is it? Is it because you guys just hit your stride at a much earlier time? Is it because the competition, you think? Because everybody that's down there, is it the year-round training? What do you think it is natural, like from a high level? What do you think it is?
Yeah. I think it's just a year-round thing. Football don't stop down there. I remember, I talked to a couple of my teammates before. They was like, y'all got spring football? I'm like, yeah, we got spring football. It don't stop. So we definitely, people start young and then keep on going. You keep on improving throughout your childhood. And then obviously, the talent, the competition is real hefty. So you definitely got to, when you step on the field down there, you definitely got to come with it.
That's awesome. Well, you have definitely done such a thing. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Congrats on all the success and good luck the rest of the way.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Levante David. Thank you, man. Super Bowl champ, AJ.
He's a stud. He's been doing it for a long time, too. That dude can fly.
2014, 2015, 2016. I don't know Tampa Bay Buccaneers' exact records, but I know there was probably some times where he's like, God damn, we ain't ever going to win. And then all of a sudden, he's a guy. They're the team. Let's go, Levante. I can't thank him enough for joining us and being incredibly humble. After this 6-minute break, Aaron Rodgers will be joining us, AJ. I'm excited. Let's go.
That's right. Hope we didn't cut his toe off.
Well, I mean, that would be the...
Or maybe hopefully, because then it wouldn't bother him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe, it doesn't have to be a conversation piece.
That's what we can ask.
Are you going to amputate it or not, dude? 6 minutes until that happens. We'll see you then. Cheers. Football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I can get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. And if you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, or maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think players who play for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
And then AJ! Oh no! I just want to let Robert Mathis went down. We're going to have to get another one for him. Goodness. Aaron went down. This is all your fault, though, because remember, you pushed everything.
Yeah.
Your towel was
I didn't move.
Can we please have a moment of silence for those two incredible pieces of art that I have been very proud to have on my desk?
Robert's left foot is gone.
Hey, he still gets to the fucking quarterback.
Yeah, he can.
Let everybody know he still gets to the quarterback.
We need to get
the hat is laid down. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to debut a brand new Aaron Rodgers.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, he's right before calling timeout here. He's trying to take down the entire defense.
I give him. I'll take the under of 10 days before he's broken.
I'd like to shout out the artist that did this. The artist that did this, Big Sky Customs, Bob Brown.
Thank you,
Bob Brown. I'm sorry your work's gonna get broken on this show, Bob.
Dude,
It's going to get displayed on the show.
Put it on that
You're
whiskey
welcome.
bottle again.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Put that capo on.
Something?
No, I was going to let you lead the way, and then we were going to sing our song that we practiced.
What do you guys sing?
It's our song, Aaron. Go ahead.
Our song?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was just about to get into it. It's Tuesday. They say is that Aaron Rodgers is rather great. The son of a bitch lied. Oh. I thought that's where we're still writing it. I thought we're gonna. You guys just got a chance to kind of dive into a writer's room with me and Aaron.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There will be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. Hour 3 of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 14th. will begin immediately following this beat drop from a man named Quan. There it is, here we go. To my left, your right on the screen is a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, greatest jawline in all of sports, Mr. Ohio himself, A.J. Hawk. Attaboy, AJ. One half the hammer, Dahn Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here. The toxic table has become the kings of the mountain table at Boston Connor, diehard Patriot fan, first in the AFC, and at Ty Schmidt, owner of the Green Bay Packers, diehard Packer fan, first in the NFC after last night's Rams-Cards outcome. And joining us now is a man who went 29 of 37 for 341 and 4 tuds on Sunday night. Is that good? You tell me. He was called into question about his shit talk during a game, whether or not it was bulletin board material, and said, I don't take back anything I say. Look at the stats. Matt Nagy at halftime was asked by the on-field reporter, hey, what are you guys going to do in the second half? He said, I'm having so much fun. Aaron Rodgers heard that and said, you mocked the belt in the first quarter. This guy's having so much fun. Flipped the switch in the second half. Absolute domination of the Chicago Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, quarterback and reigning MVP of the NFL for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah! Pick him up and put him down. Wow. That is awesome, dude. That is awesome. That's amazing.
Did you send me this shirt?
I don't think so, but
Somebody said it was in my locker this morning, so I said, I'm wearing this today.
You look good. Epitome of Yinzer will be happy about that. At E-Yinzer. Hey. Yinzer will love it.
Congrats to you and the boys, man. I haven't talked to you since the news broke. Couldn't be more happy for you guys. Couldn't happen to better people, harder workers in the business. And I watched that, and I was texting with you last week, but I watched that video that you put together, and it's that gets you a little misty watching that, man.
Well,
I know you did as well. I know you talking about your folks and all the people that helped you. That was really special, man. Good for you, good for the boys, and good to see you guys be well taken care of for at least the next 3 years.
Well, I think that type of money obviously is going to take care of us for a long time. But thank you, Aaron. Honestly, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for the love and the kind words last week via text, and the conversation was very nice. And we can't thank you enough for your time and your appearances on here in different shirts sporadically throughout the season. You're the fucking man, and we are eternally grateful for you, pal. Pick them up and put them down. Let's continue to do that every single Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Let's dive right into it. Chicago Bears. Is there just teams and schemes and places that you play better against, you think? Or why do you always seem to have a good game against the Chicago Bears?
Well, I've had a good run against a few teams. There's, I don't think it's been just one specific team, but I don't know. I mean, they were missing, obviously, Mac and Akeem was out. But it was one of those strange games where we needed to perform on offense. We started really, really slow in the first quarter, and then a bunch of crazy stuff happened. We hit a touchdown on a 4th and 2, and then have a pick 6, and thinking, okay, now we settle in. Now we're up 14-10. This thing's going to go our way. And then they hit a little touchdown, and we punt, and Grant takes it back
96 yards. What is he doing? What is he doing?
He's the only guy I've ever seen take a ball out of the end zone on a punt. I mean, and he should too. He's incredible. Yeah. I mean, he is an incredible returner. But then we put together some really important drives. The 2-minute drive to score out of the second half. 6-minute drive to score, and then in the fourth quarter, that drive that took up 7 or 8 minutes that put the game away. Offensively, we just got into a groove. Dennis Kelly stepped in for Billy Turner and did a really nice job. Obviously, we got the ball to Devontae. Big Dog had a bunch of yards. Showed up. Alan Lazard had a really nice game, and both our backs contributed a lot as well.
Hey, you mentioned scoring on 4th and 2. When you were running that play on 3rd down, did you know this is 4-down territory?
No, I didn't. I mean, I felt good about the 3rd down call. Probably just didn't get to throw in the air quick enough. But I looked over the sidelines, and it didn't seem like there was any question on Matt's mind whether or not we should go for it. He called a really nice play, and luckily, I was able to put the ball in a good spot. Roquan kind of, and the linebackers were playing so tight the line of scrimmage, it was kind of an RPO, and was able to sneak that in there, but just in time.
What do you mean, kind of an RPO?
Well, it was a complex RPO. It wasn't just a lot of RPOs. You're reading one specific guy. There's like one guy who's not blocked. There's there could be a defensive end. There could be a inside linebacker, but that kind of determines whether or not you throw the ball. This was not. This was a run with a run solution attached to it. So not exactly an RPO traditionally where you're kind of reading a technique or a linebacker or a specific defender.
Did you give us a bullshit answer there for competitive advantage purposes?
No, I didn't. That was a real answer.
That was a great answer then, man. That was really good. I feel like I really learned some stuff there. Let's talk about a couple situations.
That country are popular, not popular, but held belief by certain individuals.
I thought you were misleading us there for a second.
Pretty straight shooter.
Chris Collinsworth said that.
Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, Chris Collinsworth got buried for saying that, but whatever the case, there's always going to be people that don't like you. Let's talk about a couple of things. Yeah, you talked about knowing
immunization. You got to you do an immunization protocol, then you champion yourself as immunized. I'm not sure what you guys would call it, but multiple week, month immunization protocol, and then you at the end of that say that I'm immunized. I'm not sure what people would call it, but
Well, you're jumping right back in the fire. Whatever the case, you do whatever you got to do. That's your world. That's not mine, and I appreciate you doing whatever you're doing. Let's talk, though, about a later fourth down decision, because you talk about this one, 4th and 2. Later, there was a time where you and LaFleur were obviously speaking on the sideline, and I put out a tweet to remind myself, was LaFleur actually saying, like, hey, listen, do you want to kick this or you want to go for this? Because there was a time in the playoffs where I got absolutely murdered for making this decision. I think you said, let's kick it. You send Mason out there to go up 11 or maybe, I think it was to go up 11 there. Has that been the type of conversation that has always happened between you and LaFleur, or was it just spotlighted on Sunday Night Football in that situation?
Well, we were kind of running low on the play clock the previous play, so we kind of got the line of scrimmage, and we're going to call a timeout, and just wanted to make sure that we made the right decision there. It's been a back and forth game. There've been some wild plays that have happened. They've obviously been effective on offense and teams, but I thought it was important for us to go up 2 scores in that situation. So I think we made the right decision.
Hey, what did you think of seeing Justin Fields now play for a second time? I know he had a great response. The pick 6, he comes down, throws a laser that goes for a touchdown, I believe, on the next drive. Like, what did you think now you've seen him play twice?
I think he's a really talented kid. I think he's, he can obviously, he's got a good arm on him. He can really move around and extend the plays and make plays outside the pocket. The most important thing for young players is to continue to work on the little things and the little details. There's always, even as an older player, every year you go back and you kind of watch the previous year's film and try and work on one specific thing during the, during training camp and in the off season. It's, I think it's asking too much to focus on. I got to change, 6 different things and improve. Take 1 or 2 things you really want to work on the off season. Could be ball handling, could be footwork in the pocket, just little things to improve on. And if you start stacking, years and years of really trying to work on 1 or maybe even 2 specific things, you can really become the star. And he has, a lot of star qualities with his presence and his ability.
Are you in a kitchen right now? It feels like they're running French toast and some potential, little B's and G's bound there in the back. Is that what's going on over there?
There's some ambient noises going on here.
It's beautiful.
Ed Berry's over here.
Money team.
He can't keep his, he's munching on some Captain Crunch or something. Food's touching the side of the bowl every 2 seconds.
Hey, he's getting every fucking last one. Is it the berries? Is he trying to get the berries out of the bottom there? That's amazing.
Oops, all berries? Yeah, it might be that. I don't know.
All right, it's awesome. It's amazing. I remember the last time after the game you talked to Justin Fields, and I don't remember if it was on the field or off the field, but you told him, like, hey, cherish this rivalry. Like, this rivalry is a real thing. And I think you legitimately, whenever you were telling us about it, you wanted him to treat it, like, hey, this deserves a little bit more respect than every other game. These are 2 franchises that have been battling for a long, long time. So whenever you get flipped off by the Bears fans and then you let them know that I am the landlord of your entire football existence, like, that's good for the rivalry, I think. How about when old buddy does the belt right in your face? I mean, like, right in your, because normally when we ask you about the belt, it's happened 4 other times this season. The teams have gone on to lose. Obviously, Chandler Jones did it. The Cards were up 7-0. They ended up losing 24-21. Jamal Adams did it when you guys were just up 3-0. Would go on to go 17-0. Robert Quinn, obviously, scoreless, goes on to win 45-30. He did it again previously in the year via Matt Schneidman. You saw that one. Was that a shot to your heart? And were you like, you know what? I'm going to play football better because this guy just did this in my face, dude?
I really thought this was going to go 1 or 2 ways. That was not a good decision, or the narrative would be, somebody finally did the belt and backed it up, and they got after us. It's been pretty one-sided, though, I think, for the most part. I'm glad people aren't getting hurt doing it anymore, but it's been pretty one-sided with that. But I like Robert. I enjoy competing against him. He's had a great season. He really has. And he's had a phenomenal season. Like, he's got 13 and a half sacks or something like that. I mean, he's had a Pro Bowl caliber season, and I enjoy competing against him.
I love that he did it right in your face. Honestly, I do. I enjoy it. Like, that is...
It's a compliment. It's an ultimate compliment to you, I feel like.
It is. There's not many guys that have their own celebration that people just love to throw back in your face, right?
Well, I mean, you're Aaron fucking Rodgers, dude, and that discount double check started coming out, and then the belt got bigger. The biggest one you've ever done was in Chicago for the entire Midway. I think that was the largest championship belt ever. But let's talk about a couple of those plays, because that throw back to Aaron Jones, that was filthy. Absolutely filthy. Now I'm hearing via reading the internet that was a callback to 2005 when old Farvey threw one to Amon in a preseason game or whatever. And this is just now another thing added to the long list of your recall is ridiculous. When are you thinking of this, that in 2005 when Farvey did this against the Buffalo Bills in a preseason game to Amon and they score a 12-yard touchdown when you get through all your reads and you throw it back when you're rolling out to the right? Is that live in the play? Is that while you're practicing the play? Is that as you're calling the play? When do you think about all this shit?
You just kind of lock that one away. I mean, I remember watching that play going, man, how would you even begin to think about getting back to that guy? That'd be fun to be in that mental space one day. And every now and then, I think you just remind yourself when you go back and watch film from certain games, if the situation comes up where it's a design rollout, you get pulled up or you pull up for some reason, you never know what could be going on the backside or when you can get back to that guy. And so it's always kind of in the back of your mind. This play was more of a designed potentially pull up and throw to Big Dog. And when I pulled up, the corner from the backside, I believe it was Johnson, went to double Big Dog, and I just happened to see Jonesy sneaking out, and for whatever reason, he wasn't supposed to turn it up. He just kind of turned it up, and right as I got to about the throwing spot, I saw, I believe it was 98, kind of hanging, and so I just put a little more loft on it just to hopefully get over his head, and Aaron Jones makes the difficult catches look very easy. And obviously he did the rest, but that was a fun play just because, coaches spend all this time, creating these plays and drawing these things up, and then we go to practice. And I remember watching Peyton talk about this on one of his detail breakdowns of a game, and he was laughing how, this is just how they drew it up in practice, and every single time, they're scheming us up for the look team to have this guy be wide open and begin the game, and it doesn't happen anywhere near how he schemed it up all week, and that was the case in this situation. So the joke is always you come back, and I saw Matty on the sidelines, LaFleur, and I was like, hey, just how you draw it up, right?
Classic.
Hey, what was going through your head when you saw the ref actually call an offensive PI on Devontae? Did you have any words with him?
No, I didn't. I was surprised the ball down the left sideline that wasn't a PI on Johnson. But I don't think Devontae didn't seem like he was arguing too much. So I could tell right away that he thought it was on him. And I'd missed the throw outside by about a foot, so I was more mad about missing the throw in that situation. But I will give Johnson credit, number 33. He's really become a good player. He's a solid corner. He does star coverage where he goes, he'll go side to side with the star receiver. Won't, like many guys, if Tay is in the slot, he won't always go in the slot on him, it's not a knock on him at all. It's just that, usually the slots and slot corner, nickel corner cover that guy in there. But he's become a really, really solid corner, and I think deserves a lot of attention for the Pro Bowl because I think he's had that type of season.
Okay, so I didn't really know of him, and that's on me. I guess I should have watched more film, but I'm not playing against the Bears, and the Bears aren't going to be around in the end. The only conversation is, why is Nagy and Pace still there? That's what the Bears conversation is, so I don't dive into this. But when I saw him traveling with Devontae, and in the first half, it seemed like he had a lot of success. I was like, damn, this guy is... Second half, do you and Devontae talk at halftime, and you're like, okay, we're going to do a fake fade right to a post for a touchdown. We're going to leave it. Is that a conversation that happens at halftime where you guys recognize, okay, this guy's having some success against us. What do we need to do? What can we change to get in there? And how quickly can that conversation take place?
Well, that's the beauty of the conversations that happen on the sideline and how important those little things can be. Right before we went out for the 2-minute drive, I believe the drive started with a little over 2 minutes, but Getsy was, he said, what are you thinking about this drive? And I said, we got to move Tay around. And he's like, oh yeah, I was just going to tell you, we got to get let's think about some plays with Devontae in the slot because we feel like that could give us some good matchups. So, we had a couple completions early in that drive and then hit Allen for about 15 on just kind of a quick, vertical peak. And I, ripped the timeout and I was thinking about what is the best route to take a shot on this play where we can protect it because Dennis was in. I wanted to make sure he felt comfortable and then give us the best opportunity. So I moved Quez on the same side as Devontae and gave Tay kind of an out and up on that play, which he hadn't really run. I can't remember the last time he's run an out and up, more or less really an out from the slot. So luckily it all worked out. Marquez on that play deserves a lot of credit because he was smoking it down the left side and drew not just Jalen Johnson that side, but also the safety attention. And Devontae did a nice job on his route, took his head back on the out, and I was able to put him in a good spot. And then he does just, kind of the smoothest catch, avoid, walk in the end zone that you've seen in a while. A lot of times, that guy either gets drilled or he drops the ball because he knows safety's bearing down on him. But not only did he make a miss, but I think Eddie drilled, the corner on that, the nickel on that play when he was chasing Tay. So I mean, he's a different type of player. The conversation about the touchdown that happened on our last possession was definitely a halftime conversation.
Hey, what were you saying? They showed you after the game talking to Jakeem Grant. What did you say to him, and did you have any idea he would have such a huge impact on that game?
I mean, look, I've if we're not playing and the Bears game is on, if it's a punt, I'm definitely watching the play because this guy is so exciting. Ever since I saw him, they showed a clip, I think when we were playing him the first time, and I saw him catch a ball in the end zone on a punt. Yeah. I said, this guy is unbelievable. I need to watch this.
The confidence. Think about the confidence that day.
Oh my gosh, the confidence is incredible. But a punt return with him in the game is must-see TV. It really is. I'm just shaking my head watching that. He catches the ball on the 5-yard line. I'm thinking, at some point, this guy, we're got to be able to get him down, right? And then he kind of stumbles a little bit. I'm thinking, oh, this is good. This is good. And when he flipped the field, it was like, see ya. There ain't nobody catching this guy. And, they flipped him that little pass when he went in motion, which is basically a punt return for the first, long touchdown of the game. I just told him, I mean, he's a little guy. He's probably 5'7", 5'8". But, man, I just told him how much I enjoy watching him play. And there's guys you pull for across the league, even when you against your rivals, but because they're exciting to watch. And you'd pay money to watch, this guy play ball, and then he'd probably be a guy that I'd, pay money to watch return punts for sure.
Yeah, your special teams certainly has to tighten up. All right, I mean, I saw it in like the first quarter. I was watching some coverage, and I saw a bunch of people stacking behind each other, and I'm like, this can't be happening this late into the season. So they're going to have to do that. And after his long return, I mean, the game was, going a different way. I mean, it was like, holy hell, everything is going the Bears' way right now. And they show your face a lot. You seem to have this I think you had your hands in your jersey. You didn't have the turtleneck on. So it was a little bit of it's not that cold, I guess. But you always have this, just super chill, hey, it's all going to be okay. Is that how it is internally? And is that something you have to work on? Is that something you've worked on throughout your entire career? Yeah, well, you do appear to be stoned. Yeah, I mean, that is something that I would say. But it does feel like you are just in a different universe almost whenever all that shit's happening.
Yeah, well, I was basically trying to astral project myself into the stands, and I was able to do that, and then they found me somehow. They found me in the stands. That was an astral projection of my own body with a filled-in beard. Great beard, by the way. Really nice.
Great beard.
Yeah, there's the picture. I think the point is always to keep up the positivity on the sideline, to not let them know where you're feeling. Every now and then, I mean, look, you're human. They've caught me saying the F word probably so many times on TV, or saying, I've said, crazy things that they've picked up for sure. But for the most part, I think I'm a little bit more zen and centered the last few years, and realizing that everybody's always watching the quarterback and the coach, and Matty, to his credit and to sometimes his own emotional instability, he runs kind of hot sometimes. So if he's going to be hot and animated, I got to be the cool one. If I'm going to be hot and animated, he's got to be the one to simmer down a little bit.
Have you ever seen him without the freshest of fades, by the way? He is always perfectly faded up. His face is always, I mean, it is, I met his barber sent us a couple messages. I guess there's a team barber out there that keeps LaFleur super fresh. I mean, he is always the freshest.
Great eyebrow game, right? I mean, the eyebrows are amazing. I want to take this time to give a shout out to his wife, Bree, because much like AJ knows with some other coaches back in the day, who I won't mention, but there's many coaches who would really have a hard time getting through life without their wife. Because a lot of these guys kind of grow up.
98%.
They're scholarship guys. Some don't know how to do laundry or iron clothes or prepare their own food without going to the freezer for some Hot Pockets. So big shout out to Bree. She's a great wife, great mom. They got two really cute boys who I got to see before the game, Ty and Luke. And but Matt's a great guy, and he's well put together on game day. But behind every great coach is a wife pulling all the strings, I think, to make him look good. So big shout out to Bree.
Shout out to all the coaches' wives. And let's talk real quick about there was a guy that looked like you that was in the stands, man. You just alluded to it, and you said you just Astro planted yourself in the crowd there for a little bit. He appeared to be on he's allegedly a Canadian Bavarian fella who currently lives in Germany. Have you met this man yet? Have you talked to him yet? And at what point were you told that the internet was falling out of their chairs about this guy watching the game in Lambeau?
Total plant. That was a total plant by NBC, I'm sure.
How did they find that guy? I mean, it was unbelievable.
And I didn't realize when somebody sent me that, it was like, that was during the game that they found that, and they put multiple,
8 minutes. It was 10 minutes of that thing. I mean, that wasn't hit.
The thing that makes me think he might have been a plant is, doesn't he turn to the camera and acknowledges the camera?
He points at it.
But also, I mean, if
has he got his SAG card? I mean, I feel like
it'd be great hiring, great casting. But I think if a camera was just staring at me, weirdly, and I was potentially smoking the same things or drinking the same things that this guy had, I think I would be like, hey, what the hell's going on? I wonder if he knew as well. Seems like a really cool guy. We've seen him on the internet.
Great guy.
Let's talk about.
What about the other doppelganger, though? Wasn't there somebody that looked just like Bill Burr, the comedian?
Cameron, the punter for the Houston Texans. Yeah, it was a good day.
I saw that one. That one was a dead-on one, too.
Hey, Bill Burr's coming in studio on Friday. I can't wait to hear what that's going to be like here. I mean, he's
Say hello for me.
Do you know Bill?
I got to meet him when he came out to Green Bay a few years back and do some comedy. Yeah, I enjoy him.
Legend. Absolute legend icon. I made him laugh one time at a Rough and Rowdy, and I put that as my Twitter bio. Made Bill Burr laugh one time, just because that's how high I hold him in regards. It's the day before the Patriots and Colts on Saturday, so he's going to be, it's going to be fucking unbelievable. Can't wait for that. Let's talk about the coverage, though. Collinsworth was talking about a lot of conversations he had with you, I think, behind the closed doors, alongside conversations he had with Gunther Kuntz and LaFleur, and he said, and Al Michaels, who's an absolute legend, as is Collinsworth, they said, we have nothing scientific to prove to you that Aaron. What if I would have died right there? What if I would have died right there?
Wouldn't have been good.
Terrible. Do you get the rest of the money from FanDuel?
That's what I'm saying. And what about the donations? Those are still going through, right? And all the boys, you guys still got your stuff. I just want to let everybody know if I do die in the middle of asking a question. He was talking about how they have no scientific proof, but coming out of the conversation, they feel a lot more positive about Aaron and Green Bay sticking together. And then he said that you told him that you didn't want to drag it out. You kind of wanted to get it done quickly. And Gunther Kuntz and you have a much better relationship. It was a lot of the coverage in the second second half, was talking about your future with Green Bay. Has that been every conversation with every commentator that has come in, just asked about that? And how do you feel how do you feel about that situation currently with what Gunther Kuntz has brought in, where the team is at, your relationship with him allegedly as soon as you got back on the field after a lot of days off because of the toe and COVID, you went right up to Gunther Kuntz, dapped him up. Packers fans were super pumped about that. Where are you mentally with all of that? And is that the only thing the commentators ask you about now?
No, I mean, look, it's going to be one of the questions for sure moving forward as we get late in the season. I understand that, and I got a question after the game if it was my last time playing against the Bears, and I haven't thought about that a whole lot. I mean, I really haven't. I think when you're a creature of habit during the season, your focus definitely narrows. But at some point, there'll be obviously time to reflect on that and to think about the season. But I think that's weeks and weeks and weeks away. So in the meantime, I don't know that Chris talked to Brian. I don't usually GMs, I don't think, do production meetings, but there was a lot of questions from all Catherine, Al, and Chris and Freddie about that idea of where I'm at mentally with the team, and I don't want to overshare in those situations just because I feel like just like during the off season, a lot of those conversations need to stay between the people involved with them. But it's been a good year conversation between Brian and myself. I feel like I've been involved in a lot of conversations about certain individuals on the squad and also on other squads and making our team better. Obviously, there's been some acquisitions that I think have really helped out and paid dividends. Rasul Douglas, being as big as any of them, but Devondre Campbell as well. I was thinking about it after the game the other night. The beauty in the game and why I feel romantic about it from time to time is the redeeming qualities that a team can have, the redeeming nature of bringing guys back into the fold who weren't really wanted by other teams and making them feel like they have a real home. And it's that restoring of dignity opportunity that I think every locker room and team has a chance to do based on the personnel that comes in and the type of personalities that those individual players have. But we've had a lot of guys who I think were kind of outcast guys or afterthoughts at times, whether they're draft picks who got passed over by a number of teams or drafted later than they thought they were going to be drafted, or players who are on the street who weren't wanted by teams. There's been a decent amount of those guys who we've acquired over the years, and I think when you add enough of those guys together and you make them feel like they're a part of something special, you can really create a tight, cohesive group. And you look at the guys that are making a big impacts for us on both sides of the ball. There's a lot of those type of guys, not just the Rasul Douglases and Devondre Campbells of the world, but Preston Smith coming back and taking a pay cut and setting aside his ego and his pride. And I think he's had such an important impact on our team, not just from a production standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint. On offense, we just plugged in Dennis Kelly, who wasn't really wanted by a lot of teams, and he had a very nice game for us. Aaron Jones was a late round draft pick, who a lot of people didn't think was ever going to be a number one pick. Look at our offensive line. We have Josh Neishman at left tackle. We have John Runyon Jr. at left guard, Lucas Patrick at center, Royce Newman and his mullet at right guard, and Dennis Kelly at right tackle. A lot of those guys were either undrafted, drafted late, or not thought of as guys who are going to be contributors to our football team, especially not starting the season out, other than maybe Lucas, who was expected to start for us at one of the interior positions. And that's I think that sets an attitude in the squad of guys who are able to set aside their ego and have some sort of chip on their shoulder and have some appreciation for coming together and being a part of chemistry in the locker room and togetherness and connectedness. And it's similar to the teams that AJ was on that were our best teams over the years, 2009, 2010, 2014, where we had a really tight locker room. And it's a good feeling coming to work every day.
So you love being a Green Bay Packer right now, yeah?
I love playing ball, man.
Oh, he's loving ball. Loving
ball.
ball. This guy loving ball. I love that. Go ahead, Ty. That's got to be great to hear, by the way.
Yeah, it is awesome. Aaron, first and foremost, another incredible game.
Attaboy, Aaron.
It was really fun to watch. I can't remember if it was late first quarter or the second quarter. You carried out one of, if not the most beautiful play action in the history of football when you hit Big Dog down there. Is that like a dying art? Do you think how often are you practicing like carrying out the fake like that in practice? Because it seems like a lot of these younger guys like that really isn't like a big. I mean, is it a dying art?
I think it is, and I'm glad you asked this, Ty. You always ask great questions.
Boy, Ty.
Great sweater on today as well.
Hell yeah.
It's a great opportunity to give a shout out to another Pittsburgh guy who loves to pick him up and put him down. Alex Van Pelt. And Coach Van Pelt came to me one offseason, and this is piggybacking off another answer I gave earlier about trying to improve on one thing. And he said, I want you to become a better ball handler. So we're going to work hard on your fakes, your 2-and-1 fakes, your skip fakes, because you can be a lot better at that. And I said, sweet, I'm looking forward to the challenge. So we actually used to watch some of AVP's old pit tape, and man, he had incredible fundamentals and sleight of hand. And I enjoyed watching that stuff. I really did. It was a lot of fun. Going back and looking at that stuff. But I feel like that year really improved my fundamentals, ball handling. And that is my favorite fake by far. It's like, we call it like a guitar fake, as you're just kind of holding that ball on the notch and allowing that hand to slide through. The important thing is to make it look the exact same as your quarterback for so long did, to make it look the exact same as the run. So when you're running power or pop, where you're pulling a guard, to make sure it looks all the same. But I got to give credit to Alex, because the patience of taking 2 hops after it, the letting the head go through, is all part of the fundamentals of a good fake. And thankfully, I had AVP there to tell me that.
Okay, so you said you couldn't wait to get into a headspace one day to make it all the way back to the running back on a rollout to the right to Aaron Jones like Farvey was to Amon. Then now you're talking about the headspace of this play action where you had to commit your entire being to that. I mean, there's a chance you get murdered right there, right? I mean, there is a chance you get absolutely murdered. Have you ever felt this confident about playing football as you feel right now and how you're playing right now?
Look, one of the first times I ever did the fake, we were playing Chicago at home, and Willie Young was a D-end. And one of the greatest celebrations. He did for a long time. He did the fishing one where he'd kind of throw his rod out, And I remember the last thing I wanted him doing was sacking me on the guitar fake, and I just told myself right before the play, I said, I just got to commit to it fully. And I committed to it, and he was free on the backside. He kind of come up the field, and I got him to take the bait and to go after the back on that and up throwing a completion. And he kind of smiled at me after the play, like that was pretty good. And we tried to get him later in the game, and he didn't go for it. I was able to kind of throw the ball away. But one time, a couple years ago, we were playing against Nick Bosa, and I think it was a couple years ago, and we ran that play, and that took a lot of commitment too, because the ends in the San Francisco scheme have always loved to just jet up the field, and I just feel like one of these times I'm gonna be doing it and just get absolutely drilled in the back is definitely possible. But I really thought in that game that was possible, and just the commitment though, it's tough to. You can't see the ball, and you're looking at the quarterback who's kind of falling his eyes, and you always it's been working.
Nobody does it anymore. It's kind of like a lost art almost. The handoff is all the play action is just kind of procedural now.
Well, you know who I think is a real good ball handler? It's Baker Mayfield. If you watch his fakes, I think he does a really nice job with his fakes. Alex is in Cleveland, so I believe he's probably kind of involved. Maybe indirectly in helping him with that, but I think Baker does a really good job with ball handling, and he'll do some fakes, and I'll be like, oh, It looks like AVP, you know.
That fucking play action guru, AVP, fresh out of Pittsburgh. Put that down as another thing that Pittsburgh has absolutely, dominated. And no big deal. How you doing? Keep moving. Last night was a display of Pittsburgh with Aaron Donald taking on James Conner. That's neither here nor there. What'd you say?
Iron City, bro.
Hey, you're goddamn right. What are you wearing that shirt all about? And then you said you're not going to play. Now,
Steelers next year.
I'm not. Hey, AJ, you can't say that. You're one of his closest friends. You literally.
I
can't.
just said it.
What you say?
I said Steelers next year, right?
Hell yeah.
Is that why you wore that shirt?
Oh, AJ, we don't need to get into leading journalism around here, okay? The shirt was a gift. He's wearing it.
Hey, did you cut your toe off yet?
There it is. Let's get into it. Yeah, because the commitment
How's
of
it
this.
going?
How is the body? How's the toe?
Body's pretty good. I mean, the toe was definitely hurting after the game Sunday, but it is what it is. It's not going to be a problem. I don't think it's not going to stop me from playing. It's just pain management. So, but I'm going to keep playing and probably not practice a whole lot unless there's significant improvement. It was great. The bye week, man, was amazing to be able to get that thing healed up for almost 2 weeks. But you go out there and play and run around and try and do some things. It's just going to be painful after the game.
Aaron, do you think that you shouldn't have said that if somebody was to step on your broken toe, that would hurt because of competitive advantage? You know what I mean? I saw the internet say, why is he letting people know that if they were to step on his broken toe, it would hurt him more? Isn't he just setting himself up to be a target? Maybe you ever think about that? Maybe competitive.
There has been some issues at times with individuals getting really, really cold feet and not being able to know what they're stepping on. So that's not out of the realm of possibility. I totally understand that. I also felt the need to, revise, story that was out there about me about having lesions on my feet. Because of that, I shared more information about the specifics of my injury. If people want to step on my feet, I get stepped on all the time. I got a Band-Aid on my shin because I got kicked in the shin. That's just kind of standard playing football. You're going to get stepped on, you're going to get rolled up on or kicked or whatever. Most of the time unintentionally. Every now and then it's questionable based on the heat index of your toes. But
listen, I don't want to step on your toes here, okay? I don't want to step on your toes, but your toughness and athleticism doesn't get talked about ever. And whatever.
Look, if we keep talking about my toes, you can bet that Rex Ryan's going to be watching.
All right. He is a toe expert. He said it himself the other day on Get Up for one of the most magical moments in television history, and we appreciate him for that. It is now time for maybe my favorite part of my academia week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get a chance to learn about things happening outside of my sphere, things that I would never know about. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the 15th edition of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club. Drum roll, please. This thing started way back. We had no idea that this would continue. We thought it was kind of a joke. There's no way anybody that watches our show would continue to read books alongside this brainiac, Aaron Rodgers. It started with The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, coming through in a big-time way. Loved his readings. And then we went through the Daily Stoic, The Power and Now. Obviously, Baumgartner, a co-host of Good Morning Football with the history of The Office. And then the last book was The Answer Is by Alex Trebek. The 14th book, not the 15th, like I said, to introduce this entire thing, of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club is...
The Razor's Edge.
There you go.
Razor's Edge. This is a book that I actually read over the bye week. It was a book rec by a longtime friend of mine, Joey. This is a fiction book. Pat, I know you're more into the fiction than the nonfiction, but it's about it's set in the early 20th century, kind of the first half of the 20th century, and it's about a guy who goes out in search of truth and meaning. So very similar to some of your new favorite books, Pat. Power of Now and Be Here Now and You Are the Universe. You've been sidebarring me a lot about how impressed your wife is with all the reading you've been doing. So
thank you.
Big shout out to your wife as well.
Shout out.
Great lady.
Shout out.
Yep. But excited for you to read this one because I think there's a lot of Larry, the main character, in you.
Wow.
As you have gone out on your own journey in search of truth and meaning. So, Razor's Edge, check it out. I'm sure it's at all your, Barnes and Noble, online, order wherever you want to. But
I think I've read some of that. Work hard, dreams come true, bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Oh, yeah.
Razor Ramon, Razor's Edge. Can't wait to read that. Aaron, thank you so much for your time. You're the absolute man. Good luck the rest of the way. Congrats on being #1 in the NFC. Congrats on the book club. Can't wait to read Razor's Edge. Let's close this thing out with a little jam set, shall we? Hi, pick him up, put him down.
Bring it in, Ed. Get Ed off his.
My
it sounds like he's
out of reach,
Skyping.
so you're going to have to give me something.
Okay, well, how about we tell Ed to shut the fuck up? Hanging on the balls, enough is enough. He doesn't even know that a convo is happening. All the fucking racket in the back from Ed's a bitchin'. God.
Was there a lot of background noise?
Yeah, I mean, Ed's out there playing the fucking bongos.
He was on sound like he's on a Zoom tubing back there. There's multiple voices.
This guy. Sorry,
Man.
he's still the man. So are you.
Can't take this guy anywhere.
Yeah. We appreciate
Ed.
you.
Come on, snap it up, Ed.
Ladies and gentlemen,
See?
Maybe.
He wants to come in the shot now, but I'm going to hang out before that.
Well, it's going to make too much
in there,
noise.
Ed.
I mean, you were already all over this thing
Let him pop in
audio-wise. Might as well get in there a little video money team, Ed.
Hey, AJ, when you...
Nope. Told you. You knew he had nothing.
That used to be my thing, by the way. I'd call people and say, oh, my God. And then I'd hang up, and then they wouldn't hear from me for years. It was like,
That was a thing a couple years ago. Remember, guys would call him, and then that whole deal.
Yeah. Hey, I'll call me back. I'll call you back or something like that. That was a big thing. Let's get to a break here. Let's get out of here. Shout out to the Money Ed. Big money team, Ed.
Shout out.
Fucking love that guy.
Everyone shut the hell up.
He does need to shut the fuck up. I mean, there's something that needs to happen. That was a great conversation. 45 minutes, that dude. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Let's get to a break. This is what Collinsworth was talking about. But Collinsworth shouldn't have been talking about that because everybody's talking about Collinsworth talking out of his ass about that.
Yep. Yeah.
Great conversation. We're back in 4 minutes. We'll have some reaction and more. This is the Pat McAfee Show, December 14th. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man, I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like that. The dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected. Just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There's a lot more.
Yeah,
there was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What does that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, like whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And you were one of them. So I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to. Oh, mama, I'm in here. Oh, my life, Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm clock.
We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? Why'd you let? I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin. Thank you, Coach. I went to one of his shows. He forced me into doing. He's wearing football pants.
I think Mark
He had actual knee pads.
Does he have a fake face on?
Yeah, he has a fake face on. That is not Chris Angel. That or he's been eating McDonald's with Mark Davis for the last 5 years.
I just want to let everybody know.
Straight to his face.
I just want to let everybody know this is NFL related. Okay, we have to talk about it.
Yes. We have to cover it. Why is his penis a different color?
He's wearing football pants.
Tony, that's a. SeatGeek has come up clutch for us all season long as we get back out there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But maybe the best thing they've done is make all football tickets 15% off to all users. This is by far the best promo they've ever done. No code. Just click the link in the description and the 15% off code will be auto-applied to your account. Doesn't matter if you've purchased on SeatGeek before. Click the link, 15% off all football tickets.
Shout out to SeatGeek. Shout out to you for watching wherever the hell you are. Here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Aaron Rodgers loving ball, AJ. Just loving ball.
Loves it.
Loving ball. Was he avoiding saying he loves the Packers?
I mean, people from different cities that represent different fan bases in this particular office immediately was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Loving ball. Ball's everywhere. It's actually in 32 places is what NFL ball is.
Yeah, these schmucks are everything that Rodgers hates. You know, spreading out there that he's going every which way. He's trying to win a Super Bowl this year with the Packers.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about that guy,
the guy
right there.
He wouldn't. You said, "Hey, Aaron, do you love playing football for the Packers?" And he wouldn't say yes.
No, I'm talking about right now, and I think he's doing his thing, whatever it is, but. Every time, 45 minutes that dude just sat down and chatted with us for on a Tuesday after week 14 going into week 15. I am so fucking thankful for that.
Yeah. Legend.
He sent a very nice text message to me as a congratulations after it got announced. And he sent me a text that basically started with, I don't want to hear any response from you to this, okay? And he said, you're a good human. You're blah, 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 blah. And I was like, Aaron, that's you, pal. And he was like, Exec, shut the fuck up. Sometimes you just got to take it in and take a compliment for whatever it is. I really appreciate that, dude. But there's going to be some things that he said in there where people are going to react to today.
Yeah.
He put himself right back in the fire with the immunized thing early. You know,
what made him go into that? What did we say something? Like, what happened?
Well, I think it's because right now, currently, if you look around the NFL, COVID is everywhere.
Rams just shut down their facility.
Now, granted, that might be California rules, right? California has different rules than everybody else, especially in Los Angeles County and everything like that. But they just had a game last night, so they're probably traveling anyway. So it feels like there's a lot of reasons for it. But they're not the only team. I mean, Browns got it. Mm-hmm. Rams got it. That's going to continue to grow, especially if this Omicron is a sprinter.
Yeah. Holiday time too, so players obviously will see families more and all of that. So they're probably also preparing for that, I think.
What's going to happen if all these guys don't have any symptoms? Not saying that they don't. Okay, I have no idea. I haven't looked into all this. Jalen Ramsey said, I feel fine. This is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Higbee said.
When did we find out he was out?
Yesterday. He and Higbee were both yesterday, and Higbee was allegedly a false positive. Now, we don't know what it is today. Maybe he got it, but that's what the That's what the network said. So that's a big statement for them to say on ESPN. They're thinking that Higbee might be a false positive. He is not happy about that. It's like, well, then why is he not in the game? Like, what is it because the protocols are the way they are, and will they adjust it all as we get through this thing? If the symptoms are obviously COVID very real. All right, not saying it's not, but you're talking about some of the most healthy people on earth, and I don't think any one of them has passed away yet, maybe, but that's bigger than that, obviously spreading to other people. But if there's minimum symptoms for all these guys who are testing positive, I have to wonder how this whole thing pans out with a lot of weeks left, 2 months left in the biggest league season still to remain.
Are other sports having issues as well, or is it just the NFL right now?
NHL just got shut down, I guess.
NBA canceled a couple games the other night.
More games today.
Is it because of positive tests, right? That's what it is?
Yeah.
And is that because Omicron is ever present and it's able to run everywhere, or is COVID spreading quicker, or is it because people are out and about? How serious are the sicknesses? We know people are still dying. Rest in peace to everybody. But there's going to be this whole next few months.
Wait, are they testing more now, though?
Yeah, because they ramped it up during the holidays.
Oh, yeah, everybody's getting tested every single day. And also,
of course, yeah.
You know, like, are false positives added into all the? I mean, there's just.
Don't they have to back it up? If you get a positive, don't they back it up, at least give you another one a little bit later?
Yeah, but it was within the same 24 hours. So Higbee, they found out that he tested positive day of game, so they had to rule him out. And then I assume they ran another one.
Yeah, he produced 2 negative tests after the positive.
So how come he couldn't play?
I don't know.
Before the game, he produced 2 negative before the game, even.
Yeah, and they said McVay was not happy.
They need to reevaluate. They need to redo their protocols, then the PA and the league, I guess.
Are you going to dive into all the protocols? I mean, there is.
I'm not doing any of it.
Well, I'm not going to do any of it either. There's
Treader,
people.
JC Treader, it's on you, bud.
Good luck.
Well, it's not just NFL protocols. Kyrie Irving is allegedly getting back into the game. How's that going? Is he just getting his boost? He's getting his vaccination? Is that how he's playing? Are they changing things for him? He posted a photo of him putting his boots back on. Hey, I'm getting back out there. I'm about to. I've been working on this new delayed. Wait until you see what Kyrie Irving comes out of this COVID vaccination cave he's been in back onto a court. He's going to be electrifying. But what are they changing their protocols for him to get back in there? Is the NFL going to change? Is the NHL going to change? How about the whole world? California's locking it back down, I guess, with mask mandates inside. They're not in Florida. I don't think they're in Texas. I'm not sure anywhere else. Are we going right back into the what the fuck mill? Why are we doing this?
Might have to move the Super Bowl.
I hope everybody survives. I hope everybody's healthy. But geez Louise, yeah, so far.
They got to have backup plans.
Well, Tampa's sitting there like, come on back.
Yeah.
Come on back. Rogan and Elon are like, we'll build a fucking stadium by February. Is Jerry?
Yeah.
I got a nice stadium.
Coaches Up Chuck, Wednesday is Manana. We'll see you then. The next show is going to be much better than ours, we promise. Cheers. Okay, so welcome to PMS After Hours. Ooh, good transition there by the Foxy, where we chit-chat about the show that was, and also if any news breaks while we're in here, we will talk about it. The Rams have shut down their facility, but it's not just random Rams players. Alongside Jalen Ramsey, who tested positive yesterday, Odell Beckham Jr. now testing positive. 3 weeks, 3 touchdowns for Odell Beckham Jr. as a member of the Rams. Sean McVay loves him. Matthew Stafford loves him. Feels like he's finding his way as a Ram now. Wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. tested positive for COVID-19. Is being placed on a reserve COVID-19 list per Josina Anderson, per Ari Mirov of Pro Football Focus at My Sports Update. It's going to be, so how long is he out? He just has to produce 2 negatives? That's what he has to do?
If he's vaccinated.
If he's unvaccinated, it's at least 10 days, right? Or 10 days.
And if you're vaccinated, you have to produce 2 negatives. Is everybody just calling Dr. Joe Rogan and saying, hey, how did you turn around a negative test in 3 days? Because that is what
I need to play on Sunday.
Is that what everybody's going to do here? You know what I mean? Is that?
I don't know. Are they? Yeah, I guess the players can do whatever they want, right?
To get,
like, could they get on that whole protocol that Aaron did and Rogan and Dana and all that?
I don't know. I would assume they could,
yeah,
right?
They can't stop them, so yeah.
Now, will it work for everybody? I'm not sure. I assume it takes a lot of money to do everything they were doing. I was willing to pay it, couldn't find it anywhere. But, that was before the big announcement, I guess.
That's right.
But they're also in LA.
I think with the new announcement, I think we all could have potentially made it happen. People would have been able to find us. Hey, this costs $75,000, but if you do it, you'll be negative tomorrow. Okay, cool. Plug me in.
Thank you.
Whatever you got to do. Instead, it took me 11 days. I was vaccinated, got it, bad. It took me 11 days to produce a negative on one of those tests that got there. That could just be.
That's a long time. Is it that long for most people?
I don't know. Honestly, Like, I think I had one of
What?
Stronger.
Very strong strain.
I think so. I honestly.
You had Omicron's older brother?
Well, Delta is still the OG around here. But I think I got it pretty bad. I think. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed like
Definitely,
it for
'cause
sure. Yeah.
it's 10 to 14. I know in the NBA, so I assume 11 is probably on the later side.
So does that mean that I have stronger antibodies because I had the strongest COVID?
Yes.
Or do your antibodies last longer too?
Because they were the meanest?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure the good thing is, like, you can go find out. Like, there's very concrete answers all over the place, wherever you look.
You're right. That is the good thing, isn't it, AJ? That's about the world we live in. You can find answers to everything.
That's right.
Incredible.
Just ask people. Go, randomly poll, 10 different people and ask them what they think about your situation. I'm sure they all will agree exactly. Like, they're all going to be on the same page.
Well, and then they'll act like, well, do you do anything that could potentially hurt you? Do you smoke? Do you take vitamin? That's probably why it happened. I'm like, well, how come other people didn't get 104.5 degree fever after being vaccinated and not able to produce a negative test for 11 days? How come is it because my body stinks? Is it because the strand that I got? And by the way, if everybody's getting what I got, God bless everybody, but it doesn't sound like that is the strand that everybody gets. I don't know if we know anything about this. 50-some people are currently on the COVID list in the NFL. That's only going to grow. And with the way the protocols are, holy shit, there's a lot of money on the line here. And by the way, we hope everybody's safe.
That's right. Survive.
But there's a lot of careers, legacies, futures. There's a lot of things on the line right now. And because COVID's still very real and still a thing, this is all going to shake this up maybe more than it did even last year, dude.
Yeah, and right now is the most important time. Like we were already talking about today, how no team has got their playoff spot yet. Like if you lose a couple guys, all of a sudden you lose 2 or 3 games, your season might be over.
COVID's been practicing too all season. They're playing their best ball right now.
That's right. They know it's December.
COVID's playing their best ball right now. It's December football, baby.
Temperature drops. That's when they play hard.
Yeah, COVID knows when there's a little bit of the leaves changing and falling, there's a little twinkle in their eye. They know that this is the Super Bowl playoff run.
That's right.
COVID has been working so hard since training camp. Their training camp 19 months ago.
Yeah.
Now they know December football, here we go. It's time to feast.
Unleash
They can't
hell in
travel.
December.
Yeah, they have.
They might have
Hey, that was
heard the haters.
Connor. Was it you that said they may have to look up another site for the Super Bowl? Is that I would imagine, but their stadium though isn't in LA County, is it? That's where they have the strictest protocol.
No.
Where is SoFi located?
SoFi is in Inglewood, I believe, which is, I think, in Los Angeles County. Not sure, but Odell Beckham Jr. ends up on the list. Now that's on the left coast.
Oh, no.
I want to let you know that COVID does not pick and choose. They are bi-coastal. Christian McCaffrey now also testing positive for COVID. He currently on IR and out for the season, but he has tested positive for COVID. Another NFL big name goes down because of Uncle COVID. He's not in the building every single day. There's no way.
So.
No.
So when's he getting tested? Just whenever he's bouncing around life?
Just for fun, maybe? Just like, I kind of miss being in the building.
Maybe in the
I'll
building
just
for treatment and stuff?
Yeah, but this is like Taylor Lewan. There was no way I was going to stay in the protocol. He said, I'm going to go train somewhere else that the team has certified. Because
What if he's vaccinated, right?
So he only has to test once a week?
Yeah.
He might have got sneezed on at a Wendy's and was like, shit, I should probably.
Christian McCaffrey ain't going Wendy's. You see
Well, you
that?
never know. He's out for the rest of the season. He can maybe indulge himself a bit.
Having a JBC.
Christian's in the greatest shape of all time. There's a guy that was produced to be a high caliber athlete. You got to remember his entire family, high caliber athletes. They ain't
Family.
easy.
That's a good point.
JBC, though?
Family.
JBCs are good for any family. How about that fucking guy?
Has he landed a couple big recruits?
Walker Hard.
Come on, dude.
He's a quarterback, right?
Fucking slings the ball down there, Walker Hard. down there.
5-star.
Hey, he's really good down there in Baton Rouge.
Who was it? Was that Nick yesterday saying, "I want you to come down here and let me rub my butt on you in this little room"?
He did drop it on Walker Hard, whose feet are hanging off one end of the
He's taking the whole platform.
Well, that's because he's getting after it more than the other guy. You know, the other guy, hey, just stand there, look good, toss the ball around. Let me fucking get down. Man.
Baton Rouge.
Hey, what if Walker Howard decommitted after this?
He actually tweeted, got my coach. And then what if the internet reaction was so bad that Walker was like, yeah, you're right. This is terrible.
Big Bad Brad pulled his son and his other son out of the program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his son who played
Big
quarterback.
Bad Brad Johnson.
He's in the portal?
Zach Johnson?
He said, you ain't playing for that fucking guy.
That one indeed.
Big Bad Brad is taking his hat going, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what he's doing. We're going to go play somewhere else where Big Bad Brad can maybe. Why isn't Why wasn't Big Bad Brad considered the coach? Good
Well,
LSU.
His trick shot
Maybe he
career
was.
is taking off right now. He can't really divvy up 2 spots
There's
for
a
that.
guy that loves ball.
Bro, I love Brad Johnson.
Yeah, but could you imagine the videos he could do if he was a head coach? He'd be throwing it off the goalpost at, FSU, Doak Walker from 85 yards out.
Still got it, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Still got it. Very much. I don't know if the legs can still go, but the upper body, the legs, and the dexterity's still there. I did not know that Big Bad Brad pulled his quarterback out of there.
And his son, who's like the top tight end recruit in the nation as well.
Hey, Brian Kelly's going to have to re-recruit you. We're going to need a couple of those dancing platform videos. He wants to get you back in there. All right, AJ, I'm out of here, dude.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I feel like we talked about everything.
Yeah, a little dry today. But, that conversation with Aaron was incredible.
Every week, right?
Yeah. Who do they play next?
Ravens.
Ravens?
Mm-hmm. And
do we have any news on Lamar?
So Lamar's day-to-day. So there is some news. Lamar Jackson day-to-day with a foot sprain, an ankle sprain. Josh Allen day-to-day with a foot sprain. There's a couple of superstar quarterbacks at the top of the AFC or day-to-day currently. Ian Rappaport reports that Josh and QB Lamar Jackson day-to-day. So let's assume that they're back, I hope. Now, Hundley played great football for the Ravens, and if Lamar has a hobbled ankle, is that still the same Lamar Jackson went out there? I think Lamar is a guy that I would want on the field at all times. I guess Harbaugh's going to have to make that decision. That tackle didn't seem, maybe just caught it. Sometimes I guess you can just get it caught.
Some of the ones that don't look bad hurt the worst. And yeah, it could just awkward twist. What about the Panthers? They're playing both their quarterbacks. Are they going to rotate even? I don't know. I don't want to jump subjects for you, but that makes me think of quarterbacks rotating platooning.
So Cam and PJ are going to play, I guess. And the old adage is what? You got 2 quarterbacks.
You got none.
You got no quarterbacks. But maybe Cam Newton, new to the facility, new to the offense, new to this particular facility, this particular offense. PJ Walker, hell of a player. Maybe there's certain situations in which PJ is better versed for the Panthers, and maybe Cam comes in and does his thing, but they're still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
The team that is saying, we don't know who our quarterback's going to be. We're actually going to play both quarterbacks as if this is week 1 or week 2 of the NFL season or preseason. They're still in it, and that is insane. If you win games, who cares how many quarterbacks you got to get, I guess, but there's a lot of interesting situations. Like for Lamar, the Ravens were number 1 in the AFC there. They lose a game. Now they're down to the 4 seed in the AFC North. The Bengals are potentially going to get hot. They're 1 game away there.
Yeah.
It is.
Anyone can win that AFC North. Who's going to win?
I have no idea. Probably.
Ravens they're a game up, but still.
But they got the Packers. I don't know who the Bengals got. And the Panthers got the Bills. So
Bengals or the Broncos. They all have tough schedules remaining. They all play each other. Bengals are plus 230. They have the 3rd best odds. I took them.
Joey Burrow's a stud.
Yeah.
No indoor facility, though.
Yeah.
I will remain steadfast on the fact that is going to fuck you. And maybe it's because...
Who was telling us the other day about that?
Lombardi said he practiced outside. It was Lombardi's actually never been on a team and had to do extra reps. And I was a big time extra rep guy. No big deal. I worked too hard. I cared too much. Actually, I stunk too bad at my job. So I had to do extra work, whether it was at night in the facility, midnight, 1 a.m. going in there, or after practice inside. And in my particular profession, you can get up a lot more reps whenever you're just punting it into a ceiling. But every time I was working, there was people running routes. There was people running extra sprints. There was other things going on. Linebackers were running around the hoop. There was always something going on in the facility whenever I was getting my extra work in. I just don't know if guys are crossing the highway to get in there to do extra work. Maybe. I don't know. I might be wrong, but that just feels like a deficit to me. Although there is a toughness to working outside, and maybe Joey B., the Ohio kid, can lead that crew to it. It feels like they're a very selfless bunch. Also, Trey Hendrickson not being talked about. There's a stat about Micah Parsons, about how many snaps he has, 696 snaps, and how many pressures he has, how many sacks he has, and there's a percentage basically at the end, and it's basically saying, hey, Micah Parsons is an alien. This guy is playing at a completely different level. But the only thing I saw in that graphic was obviously Mike is a superstar, a stud, not just rookie of the year. Everybody's got him in now in the MVP conversation and defensive player of the year conversation. Good for Micah. We're pumped for Micah.
Go, Micah.
But on that same stat sheet, just 2 below, I saw Trey Hendrickson, who has less snaps, more pressures. Yeah, zoom in on this thing. Here it is. So this is a stat graphic. I don't know who it's from, where it's from, or what it is. But Micah Parsons has 690. Good memory there. His pass rush, 238 of them, 12 sacks, 24 hits, 31 hurries, 53 pressures, pressure percentage, 22.3% on his entire thing. You go down Randy Gregory, number 2 in there. So those two help each other a lot. Trey Hendrickson, 540 snaps, 338 of them being pass rushes, 12 and a half sacks, 21 hits, 43 hurries, 56 pressures. I mean, this dude is balling as well. Nobody's talking about him at all because every once in a while, the Bengals will get Mike Whited, then they'll get Herberted or whatever. He was an addition in the offseason where they spent some money. It seems to be paying off. So
they signed him early in free agency, if you remember. They jumped out and got him right away. And people did say, this is a good sign. He had a big year last year, but they weren't sure if he was going to be able to do it again. But this dude I think he has exceeded the expectations they had for him. He's been a huge addition.
You look at this entire list. I mean, Micah's a rookie. Trey Hendrickson was just brought in. Max Crosby's coming on the scene now. Judon was brought in free agency. It's like, hey, these guys that can rush the passer, if you can get them on your team, you fucking get them on your team however you got to pay them.
Myles Garrett's got 15 already.
He's unbelievable. And this past weekend, he won the game against the Ravens, and he turned it on basically out of nowhere.
That's why it's crazy with Micah, because it's like, what if he does, because obviously this past offseason, he wasn't working on, being an edge rusher. So going into this next season, if he spends time just, not working specifically with like a Robert Mathis, but of like a pass rusher
specialist.
Specialist. Like, could you imagine what he'll be if he gets 500
Hey,
snaps?
Dan Quinn's one of those guys though too. Dan Quinn's a D-line coach, like in his background, so he is huge into pass rush, the games, and Micah. What's so good about him too, wherever he lines up, off the ball, edge rusher, blitzing up the middle, he runs little games with the D lineman. Like he can do it all, and that's why, he's going to be really, really good for a long time.
Remember, I asked Robert, I was like, you see a little of yourself in Micah? No. Micah's 6'5".
I see. Does he look like that? To me, Micah does not look that big on the field.
I thought he was like Robert. I thought he was like undersized, or whatever. And Robert's like, no. We are different beings. That dude he's a freak show. He's an absolute freak show.
Hendrickson is a little smaller.
Fly, dude.
Hendrickson wears no gloves, too, playing D-line.
Old school. Perfect in Ohio. You know what I mean? He's perfect in Ohio over there.
Well, we're calling Mike an edge rusher, but he also, the hit that he had on Heineke that was a forced fumble turn into a touchdown. He was on the guard. He was lined up over the guard.
Well, then he broke up a pass, too. I think he ran back into cover 2 coverage, and Mike had to drop straight back, right? Isn't that what you're kind of doing?
Run the middle of the field. Yeah, I didn't see it. Was he playing Tampa?
Yeah, I believe they were playing Tampa.
I mean, Mike would be my guy, especially if he's 6'4", 6'5", and he can run a 4.1. Yeah, he's my guy.
6'3", 245 is the exact stats. That's the smallest he could be. That's with no shoes on, pushed down. Let's assume equates 6'4", rolling around there. I didn't know if that was their coverage, but they showed a highlight of him sprinting right down the middle of the field and a ball being there. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the impossible task of a Mike during Tampa, because I used to have to play, a little scout team quarterback, and anytime that Mike had to check the run and then flip their hips and just sprint down the middle of the field because you got to get the seam or whatever. It was always, that has to be the worst job of all time. You got somebody faster than you running a route, and also you have to check for the run first. It feels like this isn't exactly the best strategy for a defense, but hey, good on you. And then get up, by the way, after sprinting 60 yards down the middle, go call the play and fucking go stop the run. Yeah. What a nightmare that has to be. But I think Micah can do all of that, AJ.
He absolutely can do it all. He is a rare talent when it comes to that. And they knew coming in, like, the guy was dynamic. He's super athletic. He did it at Penn State, but it's almost like he's getting better and better as the season goes. We know that. So if this dude can stay healthy, especially, and even get, like, think of the packages you can come up with for that guy. Like, you would just dream about it. D coordinators, I'm sure, all would love to have a dude like him.
Well, and he loves the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like, he grew up wanting to be a Cowboy. So I think that just adds to the lore.
Seems perfect. Seemed like from day one, like watching him on Hard Knocks, like perfect. It just seems like, okay, yeah, this dude should be a monster.
Jerry said, hey, you know what it means to put that star on your helmet, right? And Michael was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, it was like very much like Jerry knew who he was talking to. He's like, okay, I'm talking to a guy who loves what we do. Let's talk about Jerry talking about the state of his team. He does a hit, I think, on WFAN.
Yeah.
Down there in Texas? Yeah, 105.3 The Fan, Dallas. If we can start back from the beginning of that video, he answered questions about Dak. He answered questions about the offense, the team as a whole. I love these weekly interviews that Jerry does, and shout out to the hosts. They do a great job.
Those guys are awesome.
They do a great job, and we appreciate them every single week. Here's Jerry talking about Dak.
Do you think Dak is in a slump right now?
Oh, I don't want to say that slump, but that's probably fair. But it's such a multi-faceted evaluation. But I would say that our offense is definitely away from where we were playing 5 and 6 games ago.
So, I listen, you want me to say something bad about my guy I just paid $200 million to. That ain't going to happen. But God damn it, I agree. The offense is not what it needs to be right now. Do you take anything from Jerry Jones saying that, or is he just witnessing what we're all witnessing?
I think he's just being honest. I think he tells us what he's thinking. So he's not like trashing his guys, but he's saying like, yeah, this is my squad, this is my team, and hopefully offensively we can get this thing going, because if you compare a great offense with that defense, who's going to stop you?
And Jerry would go on to talk about his team a little bit more.
Is Dak healthy?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It's easy to point to the fact. Now, he missed a lot of time in training camp, and he missed a lot of time early with that calf injury. And some say, well, his mechanics are off a little bit. His feet and his motion aren't quite where they ought to be. I hear all that. And by the way, that's discussed. But is there merit to it? I don't think so. No. I think just as he's had to his entire career, he will get in. He will figure it out. That's the key thing here. He has no superior in working on it, studying it, taking it to the practice field, repetition. He's as good or better than anybody I've ever seen. And so he will mentally and physically rep this through.
I fucking love hearing this from Jerry, by the way, and that was a great transition, Foxy. But a couple years ago, remember, Jerry doesn't believe that Dak's the guy. We were all kind of forced to believe that because there was multiple years where he could have signed Dak to a long-term contract, and all he would say is, I just want to win. I just want to win. And we all understood that all Jerry wanted to do was win, but we also, from his actions, were starting to think, oh, he doesn't believe that Dak can be the guy that wins for him. Here is two different situations where, maybe the easy thing to do would be for Jerry Jones to bury his guy. Instead, he said all those things are discussed. And by the way, the fact that his accent has disgust and disgust as the same exact word, basically, whenever you hear it for the first time, beautiful thing. Him saying that's all bullshit, though, I love it. That's the type of owner you want to have, and I think Dak is very thankful for Jerry not only paying him, affording him the opportunity to be a Cowboy, but also going to bat for him whenever Dak might not be playing his absolute best football.
Well, I think what's awesome about Jerry and being a billionaire, owning the Cowboys, this like larger-than-life personality, talk to anybody that has played for the Cowboys, especially like if you're one of Jerry's dudes, like you're his dude for life. You go back all the time. He's happy to see you. They stay in touch with him. Like, it's cool. Like Jerry does. If you were an owner of an NFL team, I would imagine you would want to be as involved as Jerry is.
Well, some owners don't, right? Some owners are just like, hey, I'll be there on Sunday. Give me a good suite. Let's fucking win some games. And if you don't, I'll move on. But the fact that Jerry's in there every single day is an absolutely beautiful thing. And if you play for him and you're one of his guys, he'll even give you an office, that overlooks the practice field.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Exactly what's going on every single day.
Not a bad gig.
And you don't even have to be one of his guys to get one of those office spaces out.
No.
You can be from wherever.
Philadelphia,
just
Washington,
New York.
What?
You could just get an office right in that overlooks the practice facility.
Just
which
watch.
Some would deem a little bit irresponsible potentially, but Jerry is the greatest promoter in the NFL. His big old brain has led the NFL to the place that it's in right now, financially, economically, which is the same exact thing, but you get it. Just Jerry has been a staple of the NFL for a long time, and I love that even at this stage of his ownership and success and the amount of money and maybe turnover to the family, he is still as involved and as with it. Seems like Jerry has not lost the fastball at all because they try to get him there on two different occasions. He slump, and Jerry like, oh. Well, I could see how you could think. And then he kind of phrases it around into promoter speak. and phrases it back. Like, what you're saying is valid, but also let's chill out. And then another one like, oh, maybe the excuse is he's hurt. And he's like, well, he's not hurt. And then he phrases it around. There is no superior when it comes to working hard, taking it to the thing. The best worker I've been around or close to. I mean, just everything he does. I'm a big Jerry Jones fan. I'm a big Jerry Jones
GM Jerry, too. They got Cooper a few years ago, CeeDee Lamb
From
last
the yacht.
year. Yeah, Micah this year. He's kind of been crushing the draft for a little bit as well.
Yeah. A lot of big names get drafted to the Cowboys. Will they ever go on a run like they did back in the day? We shall see, and we will see it if they get good at all. That'll be on national TV every single week because now you know them fans love the fucking Cowboys.
Yeah, they do.
All right, schedule makers, let's make sure there's 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock games a lot through this Dallas Cowboys. This ain't no fun. I ain't paying all these motherfuckers for nothing. All right, let's put them on TV. Good for the league. That one per club meeting, I wonder if anybody goes in there and is like, hey, Jerry, you get 8 national television, you get 9 primetime games every single year. You guys have stunk for 30 years. Is there any way we can get one? Your team wouldn't even fucking exist if it wasn't for the Dallas Cowboys. That would be awesome.
I mean, he's kind of got a point.
He does. Business-wise, I was told by somebody behind the scenes, and I forget who it was, and who knows if this has been stated publicly. I assume it has. The NFL would have never worked if there was 31 Jerry Joneses. Like there would have never been an ability for 31 different Jerry Joneses to come together to be the league. The league has to be what it is, but the Jerry Joneses, the people that drive the, you know what I mean, the build and the promotion and the growth, there can't be 31 of them, but he is a master in the buildup of the league, the biggest league, and a big part of it. And to Jerry, we say thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Not as much as Dak Prescott saying thank you. A couple $100 million, and also getting my back through all the time, so we appreciate the hell out of you. I don't know how big Mike feels. He's guaranteeing wins. Let's keep that fucking thing going. That's good for everybody as well. Let's get out of here. I'm going to go watch Man in the Arena tonight.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's going to be a tough one.
Presented by Under Armour. That rollout.
Yeah, that won't stop. I like how they have been showing us that promotion that we were kind of picking apart last time with the smoke and the black jersey is not a graphic. It was him in a photo shoot.
It's awesome. I enjoy just anything. Tonight's supposed to be a big one about his family and Giselle and everything like that. I'm excited to learn about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are you gritting your teeth?
What's going on?
I'm doing that because, and I assume they won't really touch upon it, but these are the Aaron Hernandez years, so there might be some.
There's no way.
There's no way, but
Tom's like the producer, isn't he?
It's going to be hard not to talk. I mean, he scores in the goddamn Super Bowl that they're talking about tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Just gloss over it.
So what if Tom just threw it to a guy who was a great tight end?
Great
also,
tight end ever.
I mean, he had some demons outside.
We did not know.
He had trap house.
Cut on a dime.
Hopefully he brings Dennis Sansucci back for tonight's episode.
They might go. They're probably going to his.
This guy's cooking eggs in your kitchen.
Making bacon in his underwear.
All right, we should not be making light of that whole situation. Obviously, it is very sad, and there's people that lost their mind.
Yeah, both.
Lost their lives as well.
Yeah, sad. They also, this will be Brady's torn ACL year if they go into it.
All right,
Cast Dog. Let's get some Cast Dog on there.
I think it's just him and Giselle.
How's his rankings been doing, Cast Dog? Is he sticking with it, or he kind of? I haven't seen it the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think he kind of pumped the brakes on him a little bit. I don't know why.
Cast Dog, let us know. How do we know who's ranked where? I mean, Danzus was ranking Office Moments this morning on Good Morning Football. I'm like, Danzus, let's fucking make sure we use the power for good.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes.
You know what I mean? The guy says he doesn't sleep because of the power rankings, and then Garden Hoser's got him fucking going through the goddamn best office, top 5 Office Moments.
Garden Hoser?
Zero in.
Brian Gardenhoser.
Oh, Palm Gardner. Yeah, was he hosting through Skype today?
No,
he's in Stu. In Stu.
Why did I see a video? Like he was on a monitor at some point.
Oh no, he was
your monitor.
Acting, dude.
He's doing that thing. I think they were reenacting the thing he did for Green Bay.
Oh, the Santa Claus thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, shout out to Baumgartner Hoser, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Hoser, Kevin.
Anyways, I don't love that Danzus is used to rank other stuff. Like, let's make sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta stick to
sports, Danzus.
Not even sports.
Stick to football.
Stick to NFL football, Danzus. All right, we're building graphics over here.
Gotta branch out, man. You branch out.
Not in the middle of season.
December rankings.
And everybody's a fan of, obviously, Garden Hoser and everything he has accomplished, okay? The Office is incredible. His cameo, next level. But let's make sure Dan Zeus is using his power for what we need the Dan Zeus power in.
Yeah. Most important time.
Is he getting distracted? Like when great players start doing too many commercials and all that? That's
the worry.
That's what I'm saying.
Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, I see it now. You're right. Just get your head in the playbook, Dan Zeus. Don't worry about this stuff.
I mean, his Office ranking was probably good. I've never seen The Office. I've seen clips. I get it. I appreciate it. I think it's funny. Okay, just so everybody that watches The Office out there. And one day I'll watch it right through too. Of course, I'll do a binge watch of that thing. Obviously, at some point.
No, you won't.
Huh?
You won't.
No, I will. I will.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, but I mean, in a few years here, I'm gonna have not much to do with a lot of money.
True.
It's only 9
Are you going to
seasons.
spend your time just watching The Office inside?
I mean, catching up with everybody. Maybe I'll watch The Lion King too, the original.
Oh, yeah, you
That's
should.
good.
I'll just do a full catch up on everybody. You know what I mean? Like everybody's life.
Take a month.
Anyways, maybe then I'll respect the Dan Zeus ranking of The Office appearance. Like, come on, dude.
Nah, I think you're onto something. It's football season.
Somebody
Dan
needs to
Zeus.
tell Dan Zeus to lock it in. He's fucking. Do we hear Tom Brady talking about the greatest NBA players right now? No.
We don't.
Bill Belichick learned about what a chop house was through the Urban Meyer thing. You think Bill Belichick is doing anything about anything?
He did a Subway
No
commercial.
way.
Nah,
That was in the
It's the
offseason.
offseason.
A year
There's no
ago,
offseason
too.
for Belichick.
Well, that's when he's doing a Subway commercial. It's the offseason. It's
Yeah.
when he's on his fucking boat, dude.
Yeah.
If I was Belichick, I'd do 1,000 commercials. He could get so much money.
I think he has a bunch of money. I don't know if he even
I know.
spends any
Okay.
of it.
Is
other
Warren
than-
Buffett still working?
Well, he goes to the same McDonald's there. Warren Buffett, by the way.
Love that.
Gary Vee's still working. He's a billionaire. Like, no one stops.
Yeah, but he just loves garage sale, and that's why he still does it.
Plus, Belichick only did those commercials because he knew, oh, yeah, I'm going to take this year off. We'll go 7-9.
Oh, it was a vacation year. It was LeBron's first year in LA.
Exactly.
Got it. Anyways, Dan Zeus has the power and the ability to rank everything.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that. But I'm just a little bit worried. December football, we got him worried about the fucking Office.
Yeah.
Okay, and not the NFL. But we will see tomorrow. Maybe he has the ability to do multiple things. Maybe he has the ability and the brain to rank everything under the sun at the same time being the authority on NFL rankings.
Yeah.
He's up at 5 a.m. to be on Good Morning Football over there.
Yeah.
Let's let the guy sleep and make sure his rankings are the best. But also, shout out to Dan Zeus getting in the office.
Shout out.
Yeah. Zito's just dropped into my ear and said, you have to see this photo of Kevin James and Sean Payton.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the trailer. This is going to be amazing. It's going to win an Oscar.
good. Shut up.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah, because I'm excited for the Kurt Warner one as well, and The Office is not as pumped about it. I love Kevin James, okay?
Yeah.
How good does that look?
Unbelievable.
Perfect.
Was that actually
Yeah, there's a little
Sean
trailer
Payton?
out there.
That is Sean.
Look at that Motorola on there,
Are you
too.
sure that's not Sean Payton?
No, that's Kevin James, I think. Netflix, it says Netflix down there.
How does Sean feel about this?
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Man, you guys mentioned it. I play with him in Tahoe, and this is the one thing I forgot to ask about.
Well, this is the thing you do. You get invited to all these, hoity-toity events with all these people that are handshakers and movers and groovers, and you don't ask them the questions that we need to be answered. I assume Sean Payton handpicked Kevin James.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I imagine he said, "Get me Paul Blart to play me as a coach."
And it's a Happy Madison production as well. Sean Payton also said, give me Adam Sandler and give me Kevin James. And that whole crew, too. We want the You Can Do It guy in there.
Rob Schneider.
We want everybody in there. That's what Sean Payton said. Shout out to Sean Payton. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, I mean, does he know? Did they just go up to him and say like, "Hey, we want to do a movie about you, but we're going to cast someone from My 600-Pound Life. Would you be okay with that?" I mean, that's basically what they did with Kevin. They don't look anything alike.
All right.
This is a huge slap in the face.
All right. Kevin James is an incredible thespian. You need
Who
to
would
fucking
you rather
relax.
This is bullshit.
This is not who
Denzel?
Leo?
Yeah, seriously.
Denzel, maybe? Who
Fucking
would-
you cast it. That's what I thought.
Giamatti.
That's good.
Paul Giamatti.
Nicolas Cage.
Baumgartner.
Oh, Nicolas Cage. They did. They couldn't afford Nicolas Cage.
All right, let's get out of here before this turns. I can't wait to watch both those things. Kurt Warner's unbelievable
American
underdog story.
Underdog.
Yeah, can't wait to see that. That's coming out.
Amazing. I saw the picture. Did I send that to you?
Yeah, you did.
I went to a movie with my kids, and they had the poster. I was like, oh, yes. Got a snapshot of that. I'm like, I wrote it down. I put it in my phone. Make sure I was the first one to buy tickets when that one comes out.
Me too. I'm using the
Let's go together.
Fandango app.
I'm using Fandango app. I already have it set.
Oh, my favorite wrestler of all time. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the app. Fandango, Dirty Dango.
Dango.
Now. That's Dirty Dango now is his name, please.
That
He's the
movie
man.
is
He
going to
is the
fucking
man.
stink.
Well, we're not done complimenting Dirty Dango yet. Dirty Dango is an absolute stud.
That dude had a run for a little while. That was amazing.
Dun, dun,
I was so pumped to meet him when I was down there.
I know you were. Yeah, it was kind of embarrassing, but I think we all felt the same way.
Okay.
And he was used to it, by the way. Let's get back to what you're talking about. Kurt Warner movie's going to be awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
Kevin James, Happy Madison production by Sean Payton, going to be awesome as well. We are lucky to be football fans and have such great, prominent features made about our sport and our league.
I mean, look at that.
That's
Holy
Sean
shit.
Payton.
That's Sean Payton.
Does he have J's on? I need to see his feet. Because Sean Payton always has J's on.
Check it out.
That ball.
I mean, they might as well have casted Denzel.
What is your problem?
They don't fucking look anything alike. I mean, this is just lazy. Come on.
What are you talking about, lazy?
I get it. If
Adam Sandler ain't lazy.
Easy cash grab for Kevin James. Hats off to you. You know, smart.
He's a
Fine by
thespian.
me, but
This movie.
This is disgusting.
good Christ, get Gary Oldman to do it or something.
All right, I don't know who any of these people are. All I know is the show's going to be great, and I can't wait for it. There's been a lot of people that don't look anything like the person they're portraying in the show, in the movie, and they've gone on to be fantastic. With that being said, Ty, when you pass away, who should we have act for you?
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, perfect. That's what Sean Payton did, and we will get out of here.
Dude, shredded.
He is shredded.
He is.
Dude, when he was jogging
Great
through
actor.
those streets.
Oh, yeah.
Creed.
Yep.
With the bikes. Yeah.
You saw Creed?
Come on, dude. Yeah.
It's unbelievable, like the movies you've seen and the ones you haven't seen.
I've never seen any of the Rockies, but I did see
I
Creed.
think that was Creed 2.
Rocky 4 is, I mean, that's a good one.
Whatever.
Watch 7.
What did you just say?
They're all the same. Every boxing move's the same. You saw
Rocky.
Creed.
You're telling me
Boxing movie.
Cinderella Man, bro?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Rags to riches. Let me guess. Rags to riches, and he wins at the end. Every boxing movie.
Well,
has
there's not a lot of silver spoon fed boxing champions.
Bingo. So they're all the same.
Foxy.
Go watch Footloose, dude.
You ever seen Southpaw?
Good movie.
Yeah, that was good. That person died there early.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon.
I assume that was also Rags to riches. wins at
$1
the
Million
end.
Baby.
Cinderella Man.
You've obviously never seen
How about
Rocky.
$1 Million Baby? Yeah.
How about $1 Million Arm? Fucking ever see it?
Oh, John Hamm.
The rest of base of G Baby too, by the way.
Rookie of the year.
By the way, great. Angels in the outfield also great.
Yeah.
How come they didn't show up more often? I wonder. His son's selfish. Son's out
Well,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt there.
yeah.
One of the Devils of a show up.
He does, Little Nicky.
Devil shows up all the time.
Is Sandler playing Drew Brees?
Devil's in the details.
That would be awesome.
Shia LaBeouf could be you, Ty.
Oh, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one.
Sounds good.
Dude's a great actor.
Fine by me.
Let's go.
Well, we'll cast it differently than Happy Madison, who's I don't know, gross.
We'll see if Michael B.
$7
Jordan
billion
is available.
I mean, they make a lot of money. All those movies are dog shit.
Whoa! Don't you even!
Well, you want to talk about how much you love Hubie Halloween in the last fucking 10,
so good.
10
I love
movies?
Hubie.
Listen, I love Sandler, but he's not throwing 97 on the black anymore. He's throwing about 84, and it's breaking right across the plate.
Well, this particular one is a knuckleball, and Wakefield taught Sandler all he needs to know. This ball's coming in like this, and Kevin James is the face, and that thing, strike! That is what's happening with this story about Sean Payton.
I hope so. I hope it's good.
Doesn't sound
I'm
like
excited to watch it.
I can't wait to see Kurt Warner's underdog story as well. That guy's a true underdog story. Let's get out of here. See you guys tomorrow for Coach Sup Chuck Wednesday. Once again, the opinions of those who speak into a microphone on this show do not reflect that of their peers or their employer.
Except me. You always text me and tell me you're right on the same page with everything I say.
Never. That has never happened in
All right,
history.
I'll show you the text.
You'll show me the text or
I'll
people?
show you, I mean, I have documentation.
Okay. All right.
That sounds altered.
You actually are maybe the one in this entire thing where I'm like, I don't know why you're saying what you're saying right now. That happens a lot, but you feel it with the Chuck Berry shirt on in the attic. I'll just throw some, I'll throw some gasoline on fire, man. And then you just kind of dip away to your 7 kids, do your thing, eat your chicken and rice, and then come back tomorrow and do the same thing. And we are eternally grateful for that.
Thank you, AJ.
Sounds like a pretty good life.
You tell us, is it?
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Have a good time.
All right. See you tomorrow. We hope that continues. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow, we will announce how we're going to pick the hashtag PMS FanDuel family, 1.5 million. Yesterday, I said maybe we give away 2 million because of how many answers we got. Phil sent me a text and said 1.5 is enough. Okay. So we'll meet in the middle, 1.75 million, though.
Wow.
And then we'll give away 1.75. And now we got to figure out how the hell to do it and who's going to get it. But I can't wait for it. We can't thank you all enough. We'll see you manana. Hashtag, now we'll figure it out tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Cheers.